Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for being here this evening with me. Welcome to the Pink House. And this is Pinkie the Housewife. Oh gosh, I'm so glad to see you all here. I see it's gonna grow, but I'm just glad to see that you all are here. Thank you for being early. You're not those people that come in late and have to get a fold-up chair. So y'all early people, you can just sit anywhere you want. Okay. Oh gosh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me just say this. Every everything on my channel is alleged. Okay. This is my opinion and my opinion only. And this video is made for educational and entertainment purposes only. And then I do want to say that everything is covered under the Copyright Act of Section of 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. And so here we go, guys. We're going to be talking about something I think most people don't like talking about it. Most people weirded out about it, and I know a lot of people have what they call a trigger when you mention it. And I'm not here to bring up anybody that has a trigger for it. I'm just trying to put out something that I think is going on, and people look the other way, even when it involves our small our kids. They look the other way, and some people think it's acceptable or they don't want to know about it, you know, and or they feel, what can I do? Um, or it's not my child. It's everybody's child. That child can't help themselves, so it's everybody's child. It's everybody's responsibility. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, okay, tonight. And this is not a one stop shop that I'm just going to talk about it just for tonight, because this thing has, uh, it's like a tree. It got tree branches all over it. So we're going to talk about and bring down a lot of those tree branches, okay? We're going to bring them down. So we're going to be talking about it a lot from time to time. I'm going to pick a day just to talk about it. Thank you. Yes, I do have my trigger warning up. I do have that. I'm always got a trigger warning, and I'll just bring it up here just a second. Thank you, Sun Kiss, for reminding me, and I'm gonna go ahead and welcome everybody here. See, I do have my trigger warning. Okay, let me just welcome everybody here. Deborah Jackson, thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I was, and let me just see, let me just put your name up here. Thank you, Deborah, and my pink wave. I love everything pink. I hate to tell you that. Peaches, thank you for being here. Patricia Peaches, thank you for being here in the pink house. Sunkiss, thank you for being here as well in the pink house. Sunkiss, thank you. We can't do without Sunkiss. Sheila Aaron, thank you, Miss Sheila, for being here. First Lady. Brad Dazzle, thank you for being here in the pink house as well. Brad Dazzle, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're here to have a good time tonight. Yes, we are. And then Sheila, thank you for showing your love as soon as you get here. Thank you. Thank you so much. You, Sheila, you don't know how much I appreciate the fact that you know I try to work hard. I try to give you all the best and everything. And for your support, I do appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Sheila. Let me go ahead and ring that bell. Ring that bell. You know I can't sing, see, Sheila. So we just gonna pretend, okay? Hey guys, let me ask you a question. Let me look down here for a second. Did y'all hear anything that I said? Because I've been just talking away. Did y'all hear anything I said, Sheila, Son Kiss, or Miss Alice, anything? Put a one in the chat if you could hear me while I was talking. You could hear me, right? Did anybody else hear me? So you all could hear me. Okay, so let me just say this. I got somebody playing. Thank you, Deborah, Sheila, and Son Kids. I got somebody playing in my chat. So you all keep an eye out for that person. They just muted me. Okay, they just muted me. I don't know. I think they muted me when I start playing that song. So when I come back, I think I'll be talking and I'm not talking to nobody. So that same old person is in my chat. And I been looking up how to give a wrench to Linda when she comes in. Yes. So somebody is in my chat, and I know who all is normally I see in my chat all the time. The normal persons that always in my chat, I know who you are. And there's maybe one person or two. Sometimes I see you and sometimes I don't. I don't know. But somebody, or they're in the bushes hiding. They're coming out to disrupt things. Okay? So I'm just letting you all know. They're starting already, and I'm not even a few minutes into my live, and I already started. Okay? Okay. Thank you, Sheila, for your $5 super sticker. And Alice, thank you for being in the Pink House as well. Thank you so much for being here. Love you, Miss Pinkie. Appreciate the commentary. Thank you, Miss Sheila. Thank you. I guess some people don't. That's why they sitting here trying to mess with my live. You got me, Miss Pinkie. That happens when people lack class. That is true. That person, y'all lacking class. Some kids, I was told that when the songs are playing, the mute button turns on automatically. I played my music before, and I never been muted. It just recently started when they was stealing my my views. Well, we'll see. Thank you for the update, son kids. Thank you. Tell you what, I'm just gonna play some music and just see what happens. Okay, let me just play something. Okay, I'm gonna find something to put on and see.
Pay my bills are paid. I've been grown, I pay my bills are paid. I've been grown, I pay my bills are paid. I've been grown, I pay my bills are paid.
Okay, Sun Kiss, it did mute when I did that, but it unmuted itself right after it stopped. But when I did the other ones, it didn't unmute. Let me try.
I'm so expansive, like the universe. I'm so expansive, like the universe. I'm so expansive.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Sun Kiss. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're making me feel better already now. Okay. Ooh, Thank you, Sun Kiss. Oh, girl, I tell you. Okay, now let me go ahead and get started with this story. I'm going to take my trigger warning down, but I got it. So whenever I need to pull it up, I got it. Town thank you, Renee. Thank you for being here in the Pink House, co-host. Good evening at Pinkie, co-host and chat. How is everything doing this evening? Everything is doing fine. Yeah, everything is going fine this evening so far. I'm going to go ahead and remove the trigger warning here, but I still got it if I need to bring it up. Okay, guys. And so let me just show you what we're going to talk about today. Now, as some of you haven't heard because you're just coming in, I'm talking about a story that needs to be talked about. Sharon Howard, thank you for being here. Miss Pinkie in chat. So am I to understand that the parents gave consent now that it's out is true, and can the authorities do something? The authorities they are doing something. They are. If you're talking about the story I'm getting ready to bring up, yeah, they are. They have done something. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and start with the story. I'm going to just show you who the players that we're going to be talking about. And then I'll show you a short video clip of it too. Okay. So we're going to talk about the players. The players are the people, some of the main people. And what this is let me just explain. This is little young girls, babies, actually, in my eyes. They're babies to me. When I say babies, they're babies to me. The leader, this is a cult. The cult's name is the Night of the Crystal Blade. That's the name of this cult, the Night of the Crystal Blade. Okay, they're located in southern Utah. Okay, I know a lot of times people expect that, stuff like that to happen in Utah, but it's in Utah, southern Utah, and the cult leader, he has his mom and dad also that lives on the compound. The compound is not what you think is a compound. The compound is no more, if you, how you see the trains that runs across the road, the trains, the box cars, is three of those. I think it's about three of them. One is shaped like a U. They got it shaped like a U. One going across and two at each end. Okay, shaped like a U. Okay, and they call it the compound. Now, if you go past the end of the, if you got one point on each side, a box cut on each side, then you draw imaginary lines from one to the other. Now, if you go past that line, you are considered, you're going to get pow. That means unalive. He voiced that to everybody. He will unalive you. And he even told his mom that, his dad that. He will unalive you. He's going to pow you with his pow. So everybody's afraid of him. All the cult members and stuff is very afraid of him, even his mom. So he gets away with whatever he wants to do. And mom and dad, they act like Martell's mom. Oh, my boy's a good boy. Oh, my boy's a good boy. He's a good man. Yeah, like that. But he just said he was going to pow you if you try to leave. Oh, Lord, I don't know. These, oh, Lord, I tell you, mamas with these bad grown kids. But anyway, I'm going to show you the players that we're going to be dealing with. Okay. And then we'll get into the story of it. I'll let you watch. I watched a lot of it. About 2 weeks, I was going to bring the story about 2 weeks out. And I kept putting it off because everything kept happening in the streets. I couldn't get a decent moment to bring it out because, the streets are hot. So I couldn't even get nothing out. So today I said, I'm going to do it. This morning, I'm going to do it. So I did release a video right before I did this. It's called, what is the name of the video? Pinkie. That's not it. Shoot. What's the name of that video? Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. I don't know. I just released it too. Oh, Morning with Pinkie and the Horses. Okay. And I'm out there early in the morning. After I got through drinking my coffee, I happened to see the horses was out. So I go outside so I can talk to the horses. I was trying to do it yesterday, didn't get around to it. But I just dropped that video 2 hours ago. So y'all make sure you see it. Pinkie and the Horses, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, Sheila, you're moving around, but you're still watching. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine, Sheila. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just go down with the players first. This is the code. It's the night of the Crystal Blade. They married. The youngest so far that got married on in this cult is the little girl is 4 years old. Now, when I say 4 years old, and kids that's 4, I think one is 6, one is maybe 7. But when kids, especially the 4-year-old, running around talking about, I'm a wife, I'm married. She obviously she doesn't know what she's saying. She just thinks of it as a game, something nice, a nice game to play. Okay, I don't blame the child. I blame the grown-ups because you don't teach a child that kind of game. You don't give them that kind of game. To me, that's the way I'm going to call it. It's a game. Because I don't want to. That's the way I'm going to call it. And if you notice, the kids got things over their faces, right? Of course, you're going to see their face because their face is planted all over all over the news. Okay, but so you see the 4 girls to the right near Samuel Schaefer, and then I think these are 2 boys with the blue shirt on and the green shirt on over to the left. Okay. And the cult leader is John Coulthard. He's the leader. And then Samuel Schaefer, he's his very close friend. He's like second closest to him, right next to him. Okay. And then let me just put I always put it up again. If I have to, it's right there. My disclaimer. Don't leave home without it, guys. That's my trigger warning. Like I tell you, don't leave home without your fold-up chair. Don't leave home without this. Now, this is John Coulthard. He is the cult leader, the Knight of the Crystal Blade. That's what they call themselves. The Knight of the Crystal Blade. These people got the most backwards thinking, the most idiotic, the craziest thinking. When I say it's crazy, it's crazy. And even his mother and father is crazy as donuts. And I love donuts. So I better say something else. Crazy as mess. Okay? So that's the cult leader. And he believes, he said, God has spoken to him. Said it's okay to marry babies. And not just marry those young kids, those babies, but also have relations. Now, he told his mother and the child's mother, oh, no, I'm not going to do nothing until that person turns 18, which he lied about. And they, in their heart, they knew he lied anyway, because this man, he gives his closest person to him his daughter to marry. And in return, that man gives him his daughter to marry. These kids barely can read a book and barely know anything, right? But he gives them, each one of them swaps daughters to marry, and they actually go through a marriage with them, right? And for the grandparents and the people there to watch this, they're as sick as him. And then so the little girls after that runs around always talking about they're married, like it's a game, like it's something fun or happy. But and then to his friend, the other guy daughter moves in with John, and John daughter moves in with the other man. Moves in now. And then they do he do everything that grown-ups supposed to do with this child. Grown-ups supposed to do. Grown-ups. So he actually RAPE that child the same way the other man does his daughter after the marriage. It's called when you consummate your marriage. Okay. Yes, Sheila, I'll be in jail because I've been hurt somebody. Somebody be pushing daisies. Pushing daisies. Because you have to hurt. Mm-mm. You're right, Sheila. And so, I'm going to get into it. So when they have meetings in church and stuff, this man walks around with that tiny child, holding hands, out of the home, walking around church meetings and different things like that. The child is sitting on his lap. Sitting on his lap. Now, the investigators, the popo, investigators and stuff, asked the mother, his mother and father, which is that child's, his child's the grandmother to the child, right? Do he do anything to that child after they got married? Oh, no, sir. He promised us that he wouldn't do anything until that child turns 18. No, it's not right. You can't do that. Then they asked him, well, have you ever seen him do anything appropriate with the child? They want to know, what do that mean? What do that mean? That means, you know what that means. So he had to break it down to these foods, right? By saying, yes. Yes. He do. They do. The child do live with him. The child do sleep in the same bed. You hear me? And when they're out or at church or at functions, he do touches that child. He do hold her or touch her like you would do your wife. It's like, Lord of mine, somebody help me with this one. Okay, let me just say this here. Wait, just give me 1 second. Okay, all right. All right, thank you. And so he do touches the child. The child sits on his lap. They ask him, have you ever seen him kiss the child? Oh, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that because they're married. On the lips, yes. In the mouth, yes. Lord of mine, somebody help me. Help me, help me, help me. Now, that's why I said we need to bring spotlight to this, because just like a lot of us didn't know what the word narcissist was, what a narcissist is, a person like, that demon man. And now we're able to spot them when we see one, and we're now able to see that, oh my gosh, I was married to one. Oh, my ex-husband was one. Oh, my dad was one. You're able to spot these people now. All due to the fact that we start spotting this on Love and Marriage Huntsville with that demon man. Okay? Y'all know who I'm talking about. So we need to bring attention to this, because I've been seeing too much of this on TV and stuff. And it's like, as I'm going through social media and stuff, and I'm saying, we talk about everything else. We need to put a spotlight on this to stop this. Let people know you can't be doing that, and let women know. So when you see this in your house, or see Uncle John doing this here to your child, or when your child comes to you and say, so-and-so put his hands on me, so-and-so did this to me, you won't blame that child. What you say, Deborah? This is not right. I would have heard him about my child. Yeah. He'll be in a wheelchair for the not to say anything wrong with people in a wheelchair, but he'll be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. He won't be able to do nothing, nobody, because he won't be functionable down there no more. He will be barely able to push himself around in that wheelchair when I get through with him. And we don't believe in violence on my channel. I'm just telling you what I think, but not that I'm going to do it. Because, we don't believe in violence, but homeboy, yeah. And he got the rest of the church members believing that crap. Okay, so if we put a spotlight on this, just like we did the narcissist, just like we did that demon man, we're going to put a spotlight on this. So when women are at home, there's so many women on all of our channels. When your daughter or your little child start acting funny or telling you something, you are more likely to look into it or believe that child or see what's going on now. Because we're going to put a spotlight on this, just like we did that demon man. Okay? We're going to save our little girls. And not just our little girls, our little boys. Because they take the little boys when they start getting a little older. They take him and the other men take the little boys out in the desert, where they are, out in the desert, and leave them so they can get lost and never find their way back. But unfortunately, when they did find their way back, and then they decide to take them back out there again. Oh, oh, thank you, Sheila. Yes, they do. Oh, my Lord. There's oh, Lord. But okay, let's see some more of the players. Let me get back to that right quick. Make sure everybody hit the like button coming in. We're going to grow this topic. We're not going to let this topic just die off. I mean, be not functionable, because, okay, I could have talked about Stormy tonight, but or that bird brain, but I wanted to bring this to light. There's more stuff out there going on besides what those dumb Love and Marriage Huntsville people got going on. I'm not talking about Melanie and Miss Van. They're above that. But I'm talking about the rest of them. Okay? So I want to bring a spotlight to this. Now, let me go ahead and show you okay, he's the leader with his crazy self. Okay, let me get to the next person. Now, this is cult member he's also a cult member of the Crystal Blade. His name is Samuel Schaefer. Now, he is John's closest friend. He's one of the closest friend to John, which is John is the cult leader. He's the leader of the sect. He is. And he is the one that also he is also married to a child. I'm not going to say a teenager or nothing. I mean a baby, a little child that sometimes they see a pee in the bed. They're not even in middle school. They're still in elementary or first grade. Wait, now. They're in kindergarten, or they're too young to go to school. They haven't got to be 6 years old or 5 years old, so they're not even in kindergarten yet. Or they're in first grade or second grade. They think those are the kids that you're supposed to marry because the leader said so. Because John said so. He said he got a prophecy from God to say he can. That man just lying. So this is one that he's also married to a little bitty kid. I'm going to make sure I say I'm not talking about big kids. Trash. No, he is another. You're right. He is another vain piece of trash. That is insane. Because if a man, what I believe, these are predators anyway. They're just using the religion, to say it's okay. They're using the religion in vain to say it's okay to touch and marry babies. Because if you just got a 4-year-old, don't you still consider that your baby? Yeah. 4-year-olds is not even in kindergarten yet. They're not even in first grade. Yes, he is sick. He is sick. Now, here we got another one. We got another third player here. Thank you, Deborah. Yeah, you're right. Sick. Now we got Robert Rowe. He's the third member of the Knight of the Crystal Blades. He's the third member. Now let me tell you, I'm not sure what Robert was the one. Let me tell you, one of these men, not the first two, but one I think it's Robert here, but I have to check just to make sure. But one of these men meets John on social media. I think it's Facebook. It could be, but on social media, right? Because he said he liked his teachings. His teachings saying that babies can be married off to grown ASS men. Okay? There's no religion that says that. I know that, Sheila, but you can't tell these fools that. I think these are just predators posing as they're in church. This is their church. I think that's what they're doing. Yeah, they're sick in the head. They need somebody to, I ain't gonna say it upside the head. They need something upside the head. Okay. But anyway, I'm not sure whether it's him or another guy that meets John on the internet. Okay. And he's talking about how he loved his preaching. His preaching, the reason why he loved his preaching is because he's preaching about how it is okay to marry 4, 5, 6, 7 years old kids. That's why this other predator thinks it's okay because, if the church say I can do that, let me go down there and meet him. And that's what he did. He went down there to meet him. And he claims after a while of listening to it, and then things start turning kind of ugly, turning kind of weird, he decided he wanted to leave. That's what he said, but I don't believe that. I want to leave. But they told me if I leave, and I tell anybody, if I leave, first of all, that he was gonna pow me, unalive me. So he sat down and stayed for the night. Okay, I think he made that up too. So he stayed for the night. And then while he stayed for the night, they give him a room with one of these babies to sleep in his bed with him, to do whatever he wants to with that baby. And I think it was in an attempt to keep him there so he can join the church. Because they knew why he came. Right. This stuff, let me see. This kind of stuff makes you get locked over predators like this. Locked up. Yeah, yeah, it does. You're right. But but did he do anything with that child? Yes. But he claimed when he got to he claimed he didn't. That's what he claimed. Now let me tell you another strange part. You are gonna okay. Okay, we're done with that. Okay. Now let me go on to okay, we're gonna move on. Let me go on to this. Okay. The night of the this is the okay. Ooh, this is the third member. Remember that third member I just showed you that claimed he didn't do anything? Oh, I didn't do anything. Beg to differ. He lied, he lied, he lied. Okay? He lied because why would you get locked up? Why did things go wrong for you? Because you was left alone in the room, in the bed with a child. And let me tell you, remember the cult leader named John, right? John, he's the leader, right? Now this is going to make you sick, so y'all got to brace yourself for this one. He tells the police that all those babies supposed to be untouched. When you're untouched, you know what you are. You're V. Never been with anybody, right? So what he do to make sure of their purity, he act like he's fooling with some grown folks. These are babies. Babies ain't thinking about, they don't even know how to pronounce it, think about it, or grasp it. That's not even in their brain cells at that age. Okay? But he gets each one by one to his place so he can do an exam on them. But he didn't say it like that because he don't think nothing is wrong with what he's doing. But he's looking for the hymen. Did y'all hear me? He's looking to make sure that child is untouched. The officers and the investigators could not believe what they was hearing. They want to know how that he's not a doctor, right? And he said so. He's not even in the medical field. Okay? He ain't none of that. What makes him qualified to do that? Somebody got to do it. So he Googled the information. He got into his Google machine and Googled that information. And so he'll know what he's doing and know what he's looking for. So he goes between these little girls and put his hand and head and face all up in there. Okay? Yeah, sure. This is sick and disgusting. But you got to remember, I want everybody to look at it this way. Not everybody is in a cult. And if you are, hopefully you see this on your phone. Hopefully you see this on your tablet or on your computer one day. Or one day you may be in my live and you may hear this. And you may say, my baby girl be trying to tell me things. My baby girl don't be acting right after she leaves her daddy or her uncle or her cousin or somebody. But I can't prove it because I never seen it happen. But she did, or somebody else may say, my baby girl have been telling me things, or my little boy been telling me things, or saying words that they shouldn't know how to say, and doing things that they don't know how to do. Right? And you've been pushing it off and turning a blind eye because you don't want to think what you're thinking. That's why. Just like we didn't know nothing about that devil on Huntsville, what he was capable of. Now we do know. And there's so many women and people and came out because of that, telling their stories and looking, and they see things now. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to just save one. I'm trying to save as many as we can. I'm trying to get the mothers and the daddies to open up their eyes when your child says something, when your child is not acting right, when your child is drawing pictures, or when your child and all of a sudden and just change from that bubbly, loving child that you knew and drawing themselves within. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tell you that not all churches are good churches. Not all cult. Some people may be in a cult right now. They're not all good cult. Just because you in one, that don't mean it's a good one. Don't leave your little girls with a strange man that you don't know just because you just picked them up and y'all dating now. You don't leave your child at home with somebody you just met just because you did the boom boom with him and now you think he's okay. Don't leave your child at home with that person, whether it's a girl or a boy, because you don't know who he is or where he came from or what he likes. Okay? So we're going to talk about this here. Let me get this pulled up for you all. Let me see what Sheila said. Some of these women need to watch who is around their kids. That is true. They need to watch who is around their kids. You can't leave your kids with everybody. Not everybody is a good man. When I was growing up, let me just tell you this story. I've said this story before. I don't know whether it's on here, but I've said this story before. I had two friends, right? They lived, one house over from my house. This is in the country now. Toe up, raggedy, dirt, ground, and everything, okay? And so they're sisters. These two girls are sisters. The mother family got a boyfriend. This boyfriend stays with them now. Mama would be going to work. Boyfriend would be left at home with them. And we're at home during the summertime. When he opened that front screen door, he calls whatever name he calls. He'll call, which one he want to call that day. Tell him to come here, come inside. Just like that, very forceful voice. And when you call that person in, we tend to look at each other. All the three of us will look at each other. They look at me, I look at them. We knew that was not good. I have never been done anything like that. Nothing have ever happened to me, but I was witness to, because I wasn't even, I think I was maybe 12, 11, 12, or 13. I think 12, 13, or something like that. Or maybe 11, I don't know. But anyway, he would call one of them. And after we look at each other, that person, that friend of mine's, or whichever sister that he called, looked sad. They put their head down and start about to cry. Goes on into the yard, into the house, and he closes the door. In the summertime now, he closes, instead of the screen door, he closes the big wooden door and lock it. Okay. So when she do come out of there, she's never happy. She's sad. And we can tell what we all knew. Both of us knew, and she knew. We all knew what happened. All the thing we can do is comfort her and try to make sure whenever we play something, she gets to go first of everything. Or we go hide up under the house. We have a house on these cement blocks, so we'll go sit up under the house. That's what we always call that our safe place. We'll go sit up under the house. Sometimes fall asleep up under the house. Okay. And you couldn't see us though, because it wasn't that tall. It was kind of low. So we had to get on our knees and crawl up under the house. Okay. So let's see. I don't trust anybody. Some family members are questionable. I heard horrifying stories in life. Yes, you're right, Sheila. You're right about that. You can hear anything and everything. But I'll go ahead and play this, and then I'm gonna go over this here. This is in Salt Lake City. This is in Salt Lake City. Okay. And I may change the wording up. I may not say the word as it is, or I may skip it or something. Okay. And only because of you two. I got to do what I got to do. This is the newspaper in Salt Lake City Tribune. So this is in Salt Lake. This is by Natalie Carlisle. This is June 8th of 2018, 1:15. It's been updated though, but it says Child XCX, Child SA charges filed against third member of the Knights of the Crystal Blade. Now, remember that last guy, he was the third member. Remember? Okay. Prosecutors in Central Utah have filed a Child SA charge against another member of the Knights of Crystal Blades, a small religious group that believes in polygamy, and that a doomsday was nearby. Oh my God, do they always talk about these doomsday things? And you know that goes on a lot in Salt Lake City, okay, where they can have multiple wives and stuff. Okay, Robert Rowe, 34, was charged. And see how old he is? 34 was charged Thursday in Utah 6th District Court with one count of S on a child. The charge carries the possibility of life in prison. Most of these guys did get 26 years to life. They did get, I would say, all three of them, I think, got 26 years to life. I know the second person, it is a crime. As is a crime. You're right. And court records list Roe as a resident of Castro, California. Roe is not yet in custody. Daniel said his office is seeking an arrest warrant. Roe is the third member of a small, perhaps short-lived religious group. It can't be short-lived because, in my opinion, even unless they arrest every grown-up there, and then you don't want to give these kids to the family members because they probably part of it too or believe in this. They do better finding loving parents for these kids. Okay. Call themselves the Knights of the Crystal Blade to be charged with a S crime. Court records have said the leader believes in Mormon fundamentalist teachings, including in polygamy, and that a Muslim invasion of the United States, in the end of the world was nearing. Oh my God. Who's going to invade us? I don't know. He's not a prophet or a leader, as the other defendants are. Daniel said he's simply a follower. Well, you followed the wrong people. Daniel and Roe communicate on the internet. Okay, this is the one that communicated on the internet. Okay, Daniel said Roe communicated on the internet with the cult's two leaders, and that's John and Samuel. They found common beliefs, Daniel said, and a record and I'm gonna show you the video. Okay, he liked them because he saw that it was okay to marry kids. He believed in their teaching when he saw the word kids. Okay. Roe then drove to Utah, got baptized in the cult, Daniel said. Afterwards, Daniel said Roe married a 5-year-old girl who had family in the cult, took her to a motel and S.A. her. A court report implies the alleged S happened on August 28th. Did you hear that, guys? He took her. He just drove there because he know what was getting ready to happen. He got himself there and drove there so he can be baptized in the cult. And he married not a 4-year-old, but he married a 5-year-old. Oh, I guess he said, at least she's a little older. A 5-year-old, in my book, anybody answer this question for me? 5-year-old, I haven't had a 5-year-old in so long. A 5-year-old, what grade is that? Is that still kindergarten, or you wait until you turn 6 to be in kindergarten? Somebody answer that question for me. Is that person in kindergarten, or they're waiting to be in kindergarten? Let me see. She was there. They do not prevent things and try to pass as if it's a law. That's why they constantly change laws. This should be a no-brainer. I can't say what I want. Kindergartner. Sheila, did you want me to drop the link for you? But you got to say it without saying those words. I'm going to drop it, okay? And if anybody want to come up, you can come up, because this is something we all need to talk about. We all need to talk about this. I'm serious, because as we talk today, there are people on social media today that got family members that this is going on in their family. You know what I mean? They do. They have this going on in their family right now. So, and they're not sure of what's going on. And there's family members that got this going on, but not sure. Oh, what you said they're in kindergarten. Okay, kindergarten. Okay, Sheila, I'm going to bring you up. Kindergarten. See how sad that is? Kindergarten. Okay,
Okay.
Sheila for coming up. I know you got to say on this. Tell me what you got to say, and try not. We can't use certain words. We're gonna. You can spell it out or use another word in place of it. Can you hear me?
A lot of times you can't really say. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you quite clear.
Can
Thank
you
you.
hear me, Miss Pink?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. When it comes to situations like that, I really don't want to say too much because I mean stuff like this infuriates you just to hear it and know it exists. I heard plenty of stories about, people that I have met along the way that say that they have been violated in certain ways as children. For me, I have been very
Mm-hmm.
fortunate that I had that in our family. But I have heard stories like, different people that I have worked with, people that I have went to
Right.
school with, talked about how family members have done things. And that Catholic church, I have a lot of them were Catholic. So
Ooh,
they know a lot of things about that type of stuff when they're young
ooh,
kids.
yes.
And
Especially with the
that's
boys
why I
too.
get so Yeah, that's why I get upset when a lot of times these young girls out here that are single mothers, you moving men in their homes and they're not even the parent or the father to the children that you giving birth to. Kids are a gift from God, so you should guard them with everything you got because He entrusted you with these kids, and to have boyfriends moving in the household and you don't even know the guy that much, they move him right in the house. They don't even
Right.
know him no more than 90 days sometimes.
Sometimes they
And
pick them
they,
up at the club, and next time, just because they sleep together, then he's spending the night and staying, moving on in.
yeah,
And then they
I
got to
know
go
that's
to work and leave that man in the house with their kids to babysit.
right. I pay for it. I wouldn't even have, first of all, I wouldn't even have a man in my household. If he don't have his own, because I know when I got divorced and I made a promise to myself, I said, when I move out of here, I'm not moving no man in my house. My kids are not sitting on nobody's lap. You're not even trying to give nobody a hug or kiss. It's gonna be somebody in my own family that I really trust and know. But I'm still not moving around. I still got to take care of these kids. I protect them with everything I had.
Mm-hmm.
With my children, even when I went to work, I'm so grateful that I was able to. Sometimes I would take my kids with me to school.
Uh-huh.
I had them like in an aftercare program and made sure
Right.
that they had like a daycare facility. I would take my
Right.
breaks. I would have lunch. I would have dinner with my kids. And then if we didn't have dinner, some days I would leave early. I would come home and cook at home. I would not have nobody in my house.
Okay.
There's no
Wait,
way. And if
excuse
I
me.
decided
Son
that I
Kiss, go ahead and put your wait, excuse me. Son Kiss, go ahead and put your avatar up for me before I bring you up. Can you put your avatar on? When you come back up, Son Kiss, put your avatar up, okay? All right. Go ahead, Sheila. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but a lot of times, with children, you have to protect these little people. You held responsible for them. They
That
gotta
is
feel
true.
safe. And I'm not
Right.
letting nobody move in my house. Even if I decided that I was gonna date again, well, I haven't been with anybody. I've been just raising my children after that marriage
Right.
was over. But I'm
Mhm.
content in my space. And I
Right.
devoted all my life to my children to make sure that I had decent, productive human beings. So
Right.
that's why I never had it, but I had some good sisters. My sisters are excellent. My brothers, everybody, they have been good supporters over the years for me. So I'm grateful for that. But as far as having, some strange man coming in my house, ain't no way I'm letting no. You know what? Move up in my house. No men allowed in my house. I got my own
I
house. If I
hear
work
that.
hard on my back, if you're not the father, you're not coming in here.
Right. Because you don't know
And these young
what
girls,
is on his mind or nothing.
and you see
Yes.
these girls, they be having kids and they move the guy right in.
Right in. I know. Oh my Lord. That's why I'm bringing
Hi,
this up because a
Kiss.
lot of people need
Hey,
to hear
sweetheart.
this.
How are you, Sharon?
Hi, Sun Kiss.
Um,
Thank you for coming back up. Thank you so much.
You're
Sun
welcome.
Kiss, tell me, how do you feel about this?
Well, I had to exit the chat because I didn't realize I would be so triggered.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
No, this needs to be talked about. It's just I just
Hard
had
to
to.
take in.
Yeah, I didn't think I would be triggered because I thought, oh no, and it truly needs to be talked about. We don't. If it gets too big for me,
Yeah, you can
I'll
just drop down, or you
yeah,
can stay silent for a while. You can stay up, or you can just get in the chat, back in the
yeah,
chat, or you can just sit there and just when I
yeah,
get to you, just say, pass me over for a little while.
yeah. I just had to I had to step away for a minute, but so
Mm.
You know what, Sunkiss? This is the same thing. If you notice, we had before when we first started Love and Marriage Huntsville, we did not a lot of, I would say majority of the women on social media did not know what a narcissist was.
mm-hmm,
They just knew they got a crazy ASS man, a crazy one that goes from one extreme to the other,
mm-hmm,
that blames them for everything besides the wind blowing.
mm-hmm,
That if the food ain't cooked, he's gonna slap him. If his clothes ain't washed, he's gonna slap him. He's gonna do. He wake up on the wrong side of the bed. He's gonna slap, or put his foot on their neck or something, and
mm-hmm,
and break your nose, or give you a couple black eyes just because you look too happy that day. You know
mm-hmm,
what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Or you didn't get home from work in time. If you get off at 5, and if you ain't home by 5:15, God forbid, a rake is on. There's a rake on the freeway, and it may take you over 30 minutes to get home. You get beat just for that.
mm-hmm.
So we did not know that half of these men are narcissists, that they are controlling, they are crazy as dumbbells, that we got the demons sleeping in the bed with them. They got the demons. And
Mm-hmm.
now we know.
That's true.
And and then we did a lot of women got these same kind of men sleeping in their house around their small kids. Those
Mm-hmm.
kids
Mm.
can't speak up for themselves, and if they can, they don't know how to say it. You
And
just know your child used to be a bubbly little smart little cute little thing running around. Now that child and it's withdrawn, uh, be scared every time you leave them out in a room by themselves. They don't want to be around that man again, and you be wondering, oh, don't you ain't catching it because you just so fascinated by this man, and you just don't want to be alone no more. This man was good in bed to you. Now you don't want him to leave. You're gonna do whatever it takes to keep him, and
yeah,
he's hurting your child all at the same time. Maybe sleeping with you at night, but he's also doing things to that child at
Mm.
night. When you go to sleep, he tip over in that room where that child is.
mm-hmm,
That's why when I got divorced, right? That's why
mm-hmm,
I didn't remarry. I did not want to gamble like that and be with somebody and somebody do something to violate one of my children. I already knew where I was going at. So the
mm-hmm.
best thing I could do, you keep it, don't even invite it to your house. Cause I didn't
That's,
play
That's
that
right.
game.
that's right.
Because I'm telling you right now, we would not be having this conversation if anybody even thought to even look their way in a type of way that made me feel uncomfortable. We're gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
And that's how parents gotta really look at it. These kids are young, they can't defend themselves. That's why it's
Right.
called parent and child. You're the
mm-hmm,
parent and you're there to protect that child, love that child, nurture them. You
Right.
know, and then when they get a certain age, you got to guide them. Then when they're adults, you sit back and you watch them, and then you could give your advice. Like with my daughters now, they grown, but I do sit back and I tell them to the side. I said, well, I don't think that person is for you. And
Oh, let me
I'm just
see.
glad.
Excuse me, wait, Sheila. I got Black
Mhm.
Titanic in the house. Thank you, Black Titanic, for being here. I'm going to drop the
Hi,
link for Black
Black
Titanic to come
Titanic.
on up if she wants. She can come on up. She's my co-host, and we're going to give her much love.
Look,
Okay, come on
and
up,
you look
Black
at that
Titanic, if you like. Come on up.
coleslaw. She even she had
She
martell
just like those
around
women
her
we're
daughter.
talking about.
And yeah, exactly. And what he said on Tasha K's interview about her daughter, he was like, well, no, I'm not her father, or the stepfather or whatever he said pertaining to that,
Hmm.
still and yet. But if you say something and you don't accept children, if you get in a relationship, you're supposed to accept those kids. But see, she
Yeah.
didn't do her research. She has been
Mhm.
selfish and she thought about
Yeah.
self and not
Yeah.
putting her daughter first.
Let me welcome Sheila. I'm sorry. My co-host up, Black Titanic. Thank you for coming
Hi,
up.
Black Titanic.
Thank you for
Hi,
coming
Miss
up,
Black
Black Titanic. Can
Titanic.
you hear me? I think she's on mute right now.
Um,
Black Titanic, can you hear me? I'm just waiting till she gets off mute, guys.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
Miss
I'm
you.
Pinkie.
on mute, but do I have an echo?
No, you don't have an echo.
Okay. I've been listening. I've been laying on the couch listening, y'all. It was storming so hard and trying to come all the way from that airport to just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it
Um,
have. It's been raining and storming here all day too.
okay, I'm here. So you guys are talking about the abused little kids that's got
Yeah.
married as children. Oh, that
Mhm.
didn't come out right.
Well,
Feel
well,
me now.
But
we're
we
gonna let it
understand.
come out right. Go ahead and speak, Black Titanic. And guys, Black Titanic is also she's a content creator. She's boots on the
Yeah, I'm
ground,
subscribed.
but
I
also
subscribe to
she
it, Miss Black Titanic.
she is my co-host, and I'm gonna give her time to go ahead and speak her piece on this because I do want to hear what she have to say.
Well, you know what? I do think that some of these mothers need to be put in jail. Now that cult right there that you're talking about, and these mothers allowing
Yeah.
those babies to be married to these grown
Mhm.
men, they need to go to jail too. But y'all,
Hmm.
let me tell
Yep.
y'all something. I was just watching one similar to that, but only this was a little black girl. This little black girl was 10 years old. The man was not her father, and the little
Yes.
boy was not her father, and he was a known child molester. He had did time for raping oh, sorry. He had did time for, violating a 5-year old girl and had got
Yeah.
out. The lady with the two kids started dating this man. She
Oh my
dated
Lord.
this man for 4 years, so we don't know how long he had been messing with both the little boy and the little girl. But one day they were not married. He come to the house told her he wanted to take the children to somewhere. He took that little girl off and violated her and shot her in the face and killed her.
Ooh.
Mm.
Oh my
So
God.
I was pissed off because it made the little boy watch. He
Oh my
violated the little
God.
boy too, but he didn't kill the little boy. And that's how they got him. It took them 8 months to solve that crime, you guys. 8 months to solve that crime.
Mhm.
I was mad at I was angry at that mother. You knew that this
Mhm.
man got out of prison. You met him in prison as a violator of little kids. Then you bring him home to your children. I was so mad at her. She out there crying and carrying on because it took him 8 months to find this baby. He was the last one seen with them children. He claimed that the little girl just wandered off by herself. Finally, they kept on. The advocacy, child advocacy, got that little boy, and the little boy told
Hmm.
everything. And he was only about 9 years old. Had to watch his sister go through all of that.
Oh
But
my
what I'm
Lord.
saying, sometimes these mothers, they just low down like that. All they want is just a man, and they know what that man be doing to these children. And I feel I can't. I'm still mad at that mother. Y'all, should I feel mad at this mother?
Yeah, because I'm
You
still
got every
mad when
right
I
to.
think about my childhood friend. Both of them had to, and I didn't tell you all. One of them did come up with child. Here she is, 13 years old, and they had to take her down to Jackson, Mississippi. Her mother was so pissed and so upset, talking about she being fast while she's at work, being fast,
A
sleeping with
lot
her
of women
boyfriend.
they can
And that
get
was
that.
that was further from the truth. And so they took her down to Jackson and took care of it. And that child, when she got back, she wasn't the same no more. And her mother blamed
Wow.
everything on her, talking about you trying to take my man. And
Oh, Lord.
but the thing about it, she didn't know the man was sleeping also with her other little daughter.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And did he leave? He still stayed up in the house.
Well,
Oh my Lord.
that's why I say, yeah, these mothers need to go too. If they're gonna arrest that man, and you find out that that mother is allowing it, I feel like she should be charged too. That's what I
Yeah.
feel.
I think they all
I
need
feel
to
the
be
same
charged.
way. I agree.
I do. Let me just finish this one page, then, so we
Okay.
can move on to the next, because I want you all to listen to. I watched. I'm not going to play the whole thing though, but I watched. I don't know how long it was. Maybe an hour and something, or 2 hours. I'm not going to play all that. But when you listen to the grandparents of John is the leader, right, of the cult. When you listen to the
Mhm.
grandparents of them talking about, they didn't, the child seemed happy. The child is a child, probably still in pull-ups, like that other little kid, Morales,
Right.
still in pull-ups, probably.
Right.
But anyway, so let me see. Mr. Roden married a 5-year-old girl who had
Mm.
family in the cult. See, her family was already in the cult. This is a grown man. Let me see how. Didn't they say he was 30 some years old? What was his
Hmm.
age? I think they said 34
34.
years old. He's 34 years old now, and
Mm-hmm.
he marries a 5-year-old.
Mm.
I hate
Okay.
pedophiles. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't
So
say
he
it.
marries a 5-year-old girl who had family in the cult and took her to a motel for SA.
Mm.
That was on August 28th. Now, Knights of the Crystal Blade had came to the attention of law enforcement in December. That's when Coulthard and Schaefer hid Coulthard's children from his ex-wife. Now, this was the most terrifying thing I ever seen. They, the ex-wife, wanted to know. They supposed to been taking the kids back to her, because they share custody. But so instead of taking the kids back, he gonna tell his right hand man, "I want you to take the kids and have them." Now they're out in the desert. In the desert can drop down to really, really cold at night, right? In Utah, right? So he puts the kids in a barrel with no jacket, half on with no clothes on, because he had already been in the barrel with them doing SA to him. So they half naked anyway. Been out there for days, no food and no water for days, freezing every night. And the kids were so afraid to come out of there. And they had an Amber Alert to go on, and they thought they was looking for one child, found out they was looking for several kids. Not just one, not just two. They was finding kids left and right. Out in the cold, they've been out there for days, sleeping in barrels. or some of them was plastic tubes sleeping out there. But he knows how to go out there and get what he wants from them, and then still leave them half naked with no jacket and no water and no food. So, so it came to the authorities' attention in December. Okay, that's when Coulthard and Schaefer had Coulthard children from his ex-wife, triggering an Amber Alert and search that spread from Spring City, central Utah, into the desert west of Cedar City, where Schaefer and the children were found in a makeshift home constructed from shipping containers. Can y'all believe that? And he had them out there for days in the freezing cold. Last month, Schaefer was sentenced in Iron County to 26 years to life in prison. Thank the Lord. I hope he don't get out. He had pleaded guilty to child and abuse charges. Schaefer also faces child, I'm not going to say that word B, and child K, napping, and other charges. And where a prosecutor said the men conducted several marriages they thought was ordained by God because they decamped to the compound. Schaefer said in court last month he is cooperating with the investigators. Daniel says Schaefer helped build a case against Roe. So one is turning on the other. Roe is the third person. Okay. Now, Schaefer is cooperating, and that's what a lot of our information is coming from, Daniel said. Okay. Now, this one here, this is the leader. This is the one that got the mom and dad that lives out there with him. And mom and dad just let him do what he wants to with their grandchildren. Plus, saw him marrying a child himself and doing all kind of things with that child. And they said they seemed like they was happy. They didn't seem like they was something was wrong with them. They seemed happy to me. So why would we do anything? Okay. This is going to end here. Daniel said other members of the Knights of Crystal Blade are cooperating and are not suspects of any S crimes. Coulthard is scheduled for trial July 9th. He has pleaded not guilty, which he is guilty. And remember, he is the leader to charges of SCBCK and obstruction of justice. Okay, so that one is over. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. Let me just, this is a picture. These kids, this is 4 of them. It's more. But the reason why I'm bringing their pictures up is because they're already all over the internet, social media, everywhere. Okay. And you see how little these girls are right here? And these are some of the boys. They take the boys because the boys are getting to be around the ages of the girls. So they take them out in the desert. Do that make any sense, guys?
Nope, but it belongs to all the parents.
They take them out in and they didn't take them out there so they can go snake hunting or something. They taking them out there so they won't find their way back home. But unfortunately, they did one day, and so they took them back again. And the parents and the grandparents let them do that. So the cult leader, this is John Coulthard. The cult leader tells the court he's following the heavenly laws in child marriages. Now, somebody explain that to me. What do you think he's talking about? Heavenly laws.
Talk about his laws. Laws he made up. That's what he talking about.
You have a lot of people going by what a person can take anything, can extract anything from anywhere and twist it to fit their needs. And this is why so many people are disgusted with religion. Now and then they turn and say, I'm angry with God and with the Bible. And those are three separate things. But God is the author of the Bible. So if you take religion and push it to the side, it's not real. If you take a building, they say, I'm not going to church. A church, they look at it as a building. Really, the definition of church is a group of people. And if you take that group of people in the building itself and put it to the side, you will then not be so angry with God and the Bible. So if 1 Peter 2:21 says, follow Christ and not man, then you won't be so angry with God, because Christ, if now he was the one that was perfect, that walked the first of the face of the earth. If you look at his steps, he said, follow my footsteps closely. He said closely because he was perfect and we're imperfect. So we will probably stumble a little bit here and there. But if we follow him, we will do as close as we possibly can. Now, here's the thing. Again, I always say people look at the Bible as a smorgasbord and say, I believe in the Old Testament, not the New. I believe in the New and not the Old. But 2 Timothy 3:15 says all scripture is inspired of God. All. So we can't look at that. If God is inspired the Bible and inspired by him, we can't pick and choose what we want. He's the author of the Bible. But people look and say, oh, you know what? Well, God told me. I've been reading the Bible for over almost 40 years. I ain't never heard God's voice in my ear. Okay, to tell me what he wants me to do or what. Now, when he reading the Bible years ago in the first century, yes, he did talk to them because they didn't have the full Bible. Today, we have the full Bible. So no, there's another thing, because when people say, well, God told me, people, because they don't research the scriptures, they can't refute that because they don't know what the Bible is saying. If you research the scriptures, you'll know that these people are full of folly. Now, the thing is this, Jesus was he was the perfect person to walk the face of the earth. If he didn't sleep with kids, then that means you don't follow another human that sleeps with kids. Now, if you look at Ephesians and you look at Galatians, Ephesians 4 and 5, it gives the breakdown of what a father and a husband and a wife and a children are supposed to do. If a wife is supposed to respect her husband according to what God has said, then it talks about the kids respecting their parents over in Ephesians and over in Galatians chapter 6. Then that's a contradictory. And we know in Titus 1:2, it says God cannot lie. Now think about this. If it says that a wife is supposed to respect her husband, then you turn around and give a double responsibility about kids respecting their parents. A young child respecting, but how is that so? When she's supposed to be a kid, and then you telling her how to respect a whole adult in another way when it comes to a salacious relationship. That makes no sense. Now let's go to 1 Corinthians 6:9-11. It says that breaks down it actually itemizes what those who and what will not inherit God's kingdom. It says anything unnatural. Now, what could be more unnatural than a child sleeping with a grown man and a grown man sleeping with a child? Now, if we as imperfect humans frown and wince and want to regurgitate over a grown person being with a young child, and we are imperfect, times that by whatever for a clean, holy God. If we think about how disgusting and vile it is, why wouldn't he when we're made in his image? Why wouldn't he? We're made in his image. That is something that is detestable to him. That's equivalent to a dog turning back to his own regurgitation. That is, people don't listen. When my egg donor, I finally went and told what my egg donor done. She was removed from the organization because she was deemed as unclean because she allowed that to happen. If she didn't know, that's one thing. She knew and allowed it. When I got strong enough to report it, she was considered a wolf in the congregation. If
Mm-hmm.
you are not, if that organization is not abiding by what is in the Bible, not what man is saying,
But
but
out of
what
there.
is in the Bible, it is you have to research the scriptures for yourself. You have to talk to the creator that is the author of the Bible, not Pastor so and so, not read by such and such, not Reverend Goodfoot. No, it has to be, you have to go to God. Jesus always said, I'm going to say this and I'm going to let it go. Jesus always said, even when each time Satan came to him in the book of Matthew, trying to
Mm-hmm.
get him to do obeisance to him, each
Yes,
time
been written.
Jesus said, it is written. It is
Mm-hmm.
written, which he was referring to the Bible. It is
Mm-hmm.
That's
written.
right.
It is written. I came here to do the will of my Father. It is my food to do the will of my
Mm-hmm.
Father.
Right.
So if they're not going by that, you're in the wrong camp.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Thank you, Sheila. Go ahead, Sheila. Thank you,
I was
Sunkist. That was powerful. That was
mm-hmm.
powerful.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here eating and listening at the same time.
Okay.
You are so funny.
But you want me to, until you finish eating, move on to my co-host and
Yeah,
come back
let your
to you?
co-host speak.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
co-host Black Titanic, until Sheila finishes eating. Thank you. Black Titanic, thank you. I think does she have?
Okay,
Okay.
I agree with everything Sunkist said,
I do too.
and this is a very sensitive topic for me because you guys know I was violated.
Let me put my trigger warning back up too.
Huh?
I'm going to put my trigger warning back up too.
Yeah, I was violated as a child, and
I'm
you
so
know, the thing of it is that sometimes these children they do go to adults, and the
Yep.
adults, like you say earlier, say that you're fast. Or my experience come from the church. They were the deacons and the pastors and all that taking you in the basement, y'all. And then when you tell on them, what they would do is tell you that you're gonna mess this man's life up. And I'm like, what? And then you learn that you cannot trust the adults around you to protect you. So that's why a lot of people they go out in the streets and they find themselves out in the streets and they find themselves identifying with men that are abusers, right?
yeah,
So a
that
lot
is
of
true.
times we have to examine ourselves, stuff that happened to us in our childhood. We grow up and we pick the same type of men. Maybe they're not SAing us or our children, but they are abusive. We learn that abuse is to you it becomes normal. And then when you try to break away from it with the family and try to discuss this issue with your family, you're looked on as an outcast. I had to learn to protect myself. I had to learn that nobody is not, none of these adults around me is not going to protect me. I had to learn to do it for myself. And with my children, I protect my children. I don't trust nobody. They grown now, but I don't trust nobody. Like that
Mm-hmm.
little incident that came out with Paris, you had 99% of these people saying that they did not believe that that man would do that. But I think it was like me
Mm.
and another blogger was the only one taking up for Paris. I didn't say he did it, but I'm not gonna blame this little girl,
Mm.
for some abuse if it really happened. So
That
all
is
I'm
true.
saying is that African Americans, older women, they look the other way. And
Ooh,
Yep.
especially if they're in church. One thing about it, that pastor violating all them little kids, having babies by all them little kids,
ooh,
all that needs to be looked at. I like how Sun Kiss hit it on the nose about
She did.
yeah, about the
Mhm.
Bible. I can agree with her on everything. That's all I
Yes.
Yeah.
have to say. I'm just
You
rambling.
know,
Go on. I'm
well, I appreciated what Sun Kids had to say as well. Because she's right. Because in that scripture at 2 Timothy 3:16, it tells you that all scriptures are beneficial. They are inspired by God for teaching, benefiting, for setting matters straight, so that the man that's fully equipped is competent for every good work. So if you got this, you got the scriptures. That Bible is a letter from God to man. So we supposed to read it. Anybody can read it, but you got to meditate on it and you
Mhm.
have to apply it.
Yes.
Or and that's why I didn't take a risk in having any man in after I was divorced. There was no way I was having now man around my children. They do mess with little boys and little girls. I have both. It was my job, my godly duty to treat these precious jewels
Mhm.
exactly like God handed it to me.
Mhm.
So I
That was
have to love these people. Right?
that was sacrifice for you because you viewed your kids as
Mm-hmm.
God wanted you to, as a gift. Every good gift and every perfect present is from our Father
Come from
above. So that is what you did. You show your
hmm
appreciation for that gift.
Exactly. Because first of all, even though you go into a marriage thinking that it's going to be both of you guys raising their children, but it didn't work that way. So me giving them Bible principles and those type of things, to set that foundation, that was important to me. So in order to run a household, guess what? He haven't left me yet. He continued to allow me to continue to raise my household, to
Mm.
keep a job. He fed me when nobody else fed me. Because sometimes you're going to have to walk this earth alone. And you have to depend on God Himself. Because when everything else is gone, everything has failed, He is always there.
Yes.
So people have to realize this. These kids nowadays, they just having babies. You see the rappers, the singers, they having babies and they not looking at the importance that children need more than just money. You have to give them your time. You have to give them that attention. Communications is very important because if they go out here and get this message from the street, they're not going to get it right. So it's important to you as a parent that you make sure you keep that communication. I don't care if it's uncomfortable, you better get comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
I mean, I had a lot of uncomfortable conversations at first, but I got used to it. As the more I practiced and learned, I was able to pour into my children. And I'm not willing to take a gamble and put my kids in harm's way.
Exactly.
Because these people out here these men are worse than some of the animals out here. And you even get women out here that's
Yeah.
messing with children.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
So it goes both
I
ways.
got one on that one, Sheila. I got one on
Mhm.
that one. A lady keep posing as a 14-year-old, a grown lady, because she looks young. She's small, body. Her body is small, and so she poses as a 14-year-old, and her whole goal is to S with these boys, young boys, and she's been very successful with it by posing. And I said, I need to make sure everybody know who her face is. That you
Well,
never
Pinky,
know if
you
she's
know
gonna
that.
be able to do it again. So you know what I'm saying?
And
You could just say, well, she's just one person. Uh-uh. That one person is done it too many times. So everybody needs to know her face. So that's one of my goals is to put her up here.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
And when my kids were small, they're not. If you're not even with the father. I'm side-eyeing everybody. Ain't my kids are not sitting on your lap and bouncing on no knee because we ain't having that. None of that.
That's
I
right.
mean, because they get enough hugs from me. I make sure I tell my children I love them every single day.
Ooh,
And
that's
that's
me.
important.
Yeah.
That is very
Yeah.
important to let your children know that they love
Yeah.
because you don't want them to go out here and get the wrong message. And the
Okay.
first
Now,
thing my daughters do, they
thank
come to
you.
me and they ask me,
Thank you, Sheila. Let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and play a news report on it. But my goal is I really want you all to hear when they got uh, when they was doing that Amber Alert. That is so hard. They thought they was looking for one child, and then they just kept finding kids, and then it's all out trying to go find these other kids, and they out in the desert, and they was guided by the little bitty kids that trying to tell them, so they had to start paying what they said attention. uh okay, there's another one of you all out here, some, and they was trying their best. But before we do that, I do want you all to hear this citizen date. uh the citizen date. Let me just get rid of this one. I'm sorry, guys. My throat is getting stretchy. Mm. And I guess because we hadn't had all that rain. Okay, let me bring this one up. And while I'm bringing this one up, if since I haven't heard from Black Titanic, did you have anything to say, Black Titanic, while I'm getting this one up? Black Titanic? Well, I'm going to go ahead and get it up,
Okay,
guys.
I be trying to unmute this. With the-
Okay.
no, well, I just want to say you brought up females.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first person that violated me was a female. And I had not even started school yet. I was in kindergarten. So yeah, females do violate you. Yes, they
Yeah.
Same.
do.
And
Yes.
they
Same with
will violate you too.
Yeah, so a lot of us feel comfortable, if it's a female, but I'm here to tell y'all don't get
mm,
so comfortable because that's a female babysitting your child, because that's what happened to me. It was a female, my
Okay.
first molester was.
yeah.
Thank you for that. And I'm gonna. There's one particular young woman that's been posing as a, a teenager, and I want to make sure I bring her picture up and let everybody see her. But not tonight. We'll do her another night because you know, most people. Oh, she's a young kid. No, she ain't no young kid. She's a grown woman,
I think I've seen that one too.
huh?
I think I've seen that one.
Oh, you probably seen it too.
Hmm
Yeah. I'm
And
gonna
they,
go ahead and start this one here, guys.
okay.
And if you can't hear it, please put a one in the chat if you can't hear it, or
The
two.
Czar religious group was sentenced today to at least 26 years in prison and possibly more. In June, John Coltharp, the self-proclaimed leader.
Y'all can hear that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or do I need to turn it up?
No, we can hear it.
I,
Okay.
I can hear it. Mhm.
of the Knights of the Crystal Blade pleaded guilty to sodomy and bigamy charges involving his own children.
Mm.
As News 4 Utah's Marcos Ortiz reports, Coltharp made one last sermon in court before heading to prison.
In court, John Coltharp didn't hold back on his religious beliefs, saying he has no regrets for marrying his own children because that's what God wanted him to do.
Back in 2016, while I was still living a relatively normal life, I had a vision for the first time in my life.
And that's when John Coltharp slowly became interested in the Brotherhood of the Crystal Blade. Samuel Schaefer joined him, and their religious views took what his attorney claims was the wrong path. Both kidnapped their own daughters and hid them in a storage shed in Iron County. They eventually admitted to marrying each other's daughters and taking their own 4-year-olds as child brides. Prior to being sentenced, Coltharp told the judge he was following God's command.
I have done exactly what he's asked me to do. to the best of my ability. I'm not a perfect person. I'm a weak person. I have passions and weaknesses like anybody else, but my marriage was the right thing to do.
Those were words that brought anger and tears to the maternal grandparents of the children.
He's a predator. He preyed on my daughter when she was a teenager. He preyed upon children. He raped them. He twisted his...
Wait, did y'all hear that? He preyed on, this is the grandparents right now. And if I'm correctly, he preyed on his daughter, meaning his sister when she was a child.
So if he knew all this, why didn't he do anything?
And
That
see,
is
and
true.
that's what I can't stand. It's like this country, as I always say, cultural. If you split that word in half, it's cult. So it's like it's cultural to just say, well, maybe they'll change or they'll grow out of it, or no, let's keep this in our house. What goes on in our house stays in our house, as if this germ is going to get better. So now he has gone on to now it has seeped out into his house. So now you want to call him the R word. Now you want to say he's a petty whatever. Now you want to say it. So now his kids are going to grow up and prayerfully they don't perpetuate it into their homes. But here at best,
but it was
they're
okay for him to do it to his sister. but now he's doing his kids. Oh my Lord.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It could have been stopped at the root. Now he's a grown tree that can't be budged. And we don't know how old his kids are. And then his sister, it's no telling what type of trauma that she's enduring. Now you want to say it when you could have stopped it at the root when he was a little plant. This is what I cannot stand. This is why I said, I did not know how much this had triggered me, not to the point to where needs to continue to be aired out. But when I did some research on this topic before, and I was trying to figure out why do cult leaders, what is in their minds, in their psyche, and I had learned that again, it is domination, it is power, it is control, but too with the sadism side of it, it is because they like to actually not only gain the power, but they get an enjoyment off of seeing that child in pain. That's where they get their erections from, is to seeing that child in pain and being feeble, emotionally and mental, even physically feeble in their presence. There are times they like to record it or take pictures, and then they like to continue to relive those moments by looking at that footage. Because
that reminds me of a P. Diddy. Oh my Lord.
That's their excitement. Because if that child were to be unalived, or if that child were to get taken away or whatever, they can still relive that moment and get the gratification by reliving it through that footage. So that's the sadism in it. And then there are some that will relive it, like my egg donor, by trying to be angelic, by saying people don't understand that it's nothing wrong with it. Like this guy, this sick puppy here, there's nothing wrong with this. So they're glorifying with religion. They're glorified their sicknesses by saying, well, you all don't understand the connection or the chemistry that we have. And but God told me. So they'll try to convince themselves that, yeah, it was God. But here's the Bible. And knowing all along that that's not true. This is they will continue, so they'll convince their little community around them. And so you were showed earlier that whoever this guy was that had the pow and was threatening people around and had everybody afraid.
That's his son. His son.
Okay, so
is the one that said if you cross the line of the compound, there's that's not a line, but it's an imaginary line from one end of the trailer. Box cart to the other one. If you cross that line, he didn't tell him that I'm going to hurt you. His exact words, showing them the pow. I'm going to unalive you.
So
and
now, right
his mother and his father and they was also afraid to cross that line. And they made sure when the kids are outside playing, They do not cross that line accidentally.
See, now right there, again, that's why it's so important to do your research and pray to our Heavenly Father, because if they were following Jesus' footsteps, when Jesus was being set before the Pontius Pilate and them and all the false religious leaders, they were getting ready to put him to unalive him. And Peter, being, presumptuous as he was, he cut off one of the soldiers' ears.
Okay, we're missing somebody. Sheila, did you drop off, Sheila? I'm not sure. Did you drop off accidentally? So I will put the link back down. And also for anybody else that want to come up, I dropped the link. But let me just say this. Please, everybody, when you're coming in, please hit the like button coming in, because I need to keep track. I need my likes. It's very important to me for to stay in the algorithm. I need those thumbs up. Even if you're in the bushes, just come out and hit the like button, because this is very good content that we need to get out, just like we got out. And I do want to ask thank you, Sheila, for coming back. No, she hasn't came back up yet. Okay. Okay.
Can I say?
Let me ask this question between Black Titanic. And let me just ask, do you think this is this John, the leader named John, is he also got that narcissist in him too? Because this seems just like somebody that's a narcissist to me. Want to control, want to have that fear in people. What do you all think?
I'm gonna let Sunkiss answer that, but
okay. Thank you, Sheila.
Let me say this, and then I'll let she the narcissist to me specialist. But I just want to say this, and then Sunkiss, you may want to piggyback off of this when you do the narcissist. Those men that in the Catholic organization, those priests, to me, it's like a cult. It's no different than what these people are doing right here.
Right.
They allow these priests, they don't put them in jail. They don't do nothing to them. They go from parishioner, just ship them, just from parishioner to parishioner, and then they would never admit that they do these things until all these children, they get grown and they have all these psychological problems, and then they confront these priests.
But don't they ship them to another location somewhere else further away?
All they do to them. This is and it seems like that everybody want to use these type of people. Always want to use the name of Jesus, the name of God, to justify what they're doing. They just pure evil. That's all I want to say.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
That's true. I did some research on that too. That's a part of their mask. It's no different from these so-called cults out in Utah and all that. It's the same thing in a lot of the Catholic churches and a lot of the churches. That's a part of the culture here. The cults are all over. They're just groomed differently. They just wear different garments. But
let me just say hi, Debbie. Thank you for being here, Debbie. Debbie, if you want to come up, I dropped my link down. If you want to come up, okay, you're welcome to come up. Let me just say something before you start. I want to finish playing this short. It's short on him, but I want to finish playing this part here because his father let this happen not only to his sister, the man's John's sister, which was when they was growing up, but also to his children. Now he knew he was part of the cult. His mom and dad was a part of the cult, and they saw all of this. So when are you all going to speak? When were you all going to speak out? That's the problem. Mm-hmm. That is the problem. I just can't wrap my brain cells around it. But now, since the raid and since they got caught, now mom and dad, they can't. I tried to. No, you didn't try nothing. You let this happen. I'm gonna
How
drop
you
the link
think?
again for Black Titanic. It seemed like she dropped down. But guys, Sheila, before you start, let me go ahead and wait, let me put the link out. Black Titanic, I see you dropped. Sometimes it could be accidental when people drop down. Thank you, Sheila, for coming back up. Let me finish playing this part because Daddy here, he needs to go to jail too with his wife too. I hate to
And
say
the
it. They may
mother,
be old, but they need to go to jail.
the mother
Hmm?
too.
Yeah,
I don't,
all of them need to
I
go to
don't hate to
jail.
say, I don't hate to say it at all. They're all complicit. They need to go. They all need
Daddy
to
That's
and
right.
Mom saw him kissing the little girl when she was 4 years old. She would sit on his lap doing prayer and church thing, sit in his lap, and he'd be touching on her and kissing her in the mouth. And Dad and Mom said it didn't seem like she was being hurt. Lord of mine, I hate to say it, he needs to be slapped. Okay, let me finish playing it.
Boys' minds to believe they were worthless. He twisted the girls' minds to believe that their only value was in being a wife.
And the children now hate him, according to the prosecutor, who was holding up a drawing by one of the children. It showed bees and wasps attacking both Coltharp and Schaefer. But their grandfather says there's positive signs coming from the children.
There's struggles. It's difficult. It's not easy, but they're making it. And we're going to make sure that they have the love and support that they need in order to do that.
Now that their nightmare is over.
It's nice to know that most likely he will be spending the rest of his life in prison. And we hope that it is very, very uncomfortable for him.
More criminal charges are expected, this time involving the parents of Coltharp for obstruction of justice. In Manti.
Oh, wait now. Coldheart is the father that just got through speaking. That's his
He need to
son.
be there too.
That's
I know
his
all of them
son.
need to be.
So the parents, so his parents, which is the leader that just got led off in handcuffs, his parents, an investigation is going to start for them, and they need to because they were questioned also by the investigators, and the investigators could not. I'm going to have to show you all that video next time we do. I'm actually going to show that video. They could not believe the things that was coming out of these grandparents' mouth. Did he let the little girl sit on his lap? Yes. Did he touch her in certain way? Yes, because they're married. It's okay. What? That's a 4-year-old. And then asked, did he kiss her? Yes. Where? On the mouth. Like a man would kiss a woman? Yes, because they're married. Oh, didn't make I almost jumped through the TV and I almost slapped somebody. And then they said they didn't see any signs of harm from that their granddaughter. They didn't, she was acting normal. But and then the grandmother said, well, she always running around in the yard the compound talking about she's a wife. She's a wife. She was happy. She's a kid. Not a kid. She's a baby.
That's a
Oh,
baby.
God.
There are
And they
20
said, did they sleep together? Well, they slept in the same bed. He took her to his house now, so because he's married to her, so they live in the same house, and so she have to perform as a wife. What do a 4-year-old know about performing as a wife? He promised he won't do anything to her till she turns 18, but he'll do other things. But that he was doing it to her. And then he'd check every child, whether it's his child or anybody else's child. When they're little babies, he'd check them to make sure they still got their hymen intact.
Well,
That's
it's
way so.
okay. Why would he say, wait, I'm gonna wait till she's 18? If God told him to be with her, why then is he saying, okay, but I'm gonna wait till she's 18? If God told you to do it, then why wait till you 18? And then if he's checking other babies, in the scriptures in Hebrews, it says, do not defile the bed. So why are you touching other babies since it's okay to be with that little 4 or 5-year-old? That make sense.
Right. He said because on the investigation was because he want to make sure when he give a man their wife, he want to make sure that wife is pure. She's a baby. Oh my God. You cannot make this make sense. It didn't make no sense to me. And the grandparents they was doing okay when they was being investigated. Now all of a sudden, since they've been sentenced to 26 years
They've
to
been
life,
done.
oh, now they changing their tune. I hope he's spending the rest of it because they're afraid
Oh,
they're gonna go down now.
yeah. This
They've
tells
been
me
done.
they knew what they were doing. This
They
right here.
knew.
They did.
And then when new people join the church, even before they get married to them, they let them go sleep with one of the kids. Make that make sense. Remember the other man, Roe. Remember him? He came down. He drove all the way down. And when he got down there, he got baptized so he can marry one of the kids. And he married a 5-year-old. And he was 34 years old.
And you know, it's funny that you said that because first of all, it's even if you were to get baptized, you need to be a fully
Right.
Bible trained
Wait,
student.
do something for me, Sheila. Hold that for 1 second. Black Titanic said the storm kicked the power out and it pitch dark. Sign off my phone to save my life for it. Okay, Black Titanic, I got it. Okay, just let us know when your lights come back on. Oh, I'm so sorry because we've been having this storm too all day today. And guys, I am going to make a video of the strangest things that have been going on since that solar eclipse. And I saw it when it got dark. I didn't put that part in my video because I'm saving it for this video. All these strangest things that's been going on, especially in Texas. The strangest things that's been going on since this. And can't nobody tell me we haven't had the strangest things, the strangest weather, tornadoes, everything, and things in the sky, everything has been popping up. Thank you, Debbie, for coming up. Let me get you up here. Thank you, Debbie, for coming up.
Before you get deeper into this, I wanted to make us. I
Oh,
just
okay,
wanted
I
to
will.
speak about.
Okay, I will. Let me just make sure Debbie can hear me. Debbie, can you hear me? Oh, she dropped down. Okay, Debbie, I'm gonna drop the link one more time. If you can come back up, just let me know. And Sheila, while you're making your statement, right before you make it, this is only just a few seconds left on here. Let me just let this
Okay.
few seconds of this run out, and then you'll be the first person that's gonna speak. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Sheila, you're gonna be the first person to speak. Let me just let this run on out so I can get this one off. Because I do have, and then after you and Debbie, everybody speak, I want to put on the other one right quick. Oh, here she is. Hi, Debbie. Debbie, can you
Yes,
hear? Can you hear me?
yes.
You can hear me, Debbie. Debbie. Okay, if you're having problems, Debbie, go ahead and fix it. I'm going to roll on with this video. Okay, but I'm going to roll on if you can hear me. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll on. I got you up. Okay, wait. Debbie, is this you? Which one is you so I can let the other one go? I'm going to let that one down. I'm going to get rid. Okay. Debbie, are you still here? Debbie, the storm is probably knocking everybody out. While Debbie and Black Titanic trying to get themselves back up, let me just let this play. And Sheila, you're going to be next, okay?
Okay.
And thank you for waiting, Sheila. Thank you. Let me just play this one
Marcus
out.
Ortiz, News 4 Utah.
Another member of the Knights of the Crystal Blade, Robert Rowe, is also facing felony.
Hello, Debbie. Can you hear me now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can finally hear. Uh-oh, you just dropped off. Ooh, this storm has got everybody going on in and out. She'll come back up. Let me, they're talking about one other person right now on this newscast.
Charges related to sexual relations with one of the children. He will have a preliminary hearing in October.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get that one down. Okay, so I got that one down. And while everybody's trying to come up, Sheila and everything, I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead and say your comment. And then let me just say, if somebody's trying to come up, I may stop you for a moment so I can try to get them up so they can know that I hear them and they're up correctly. They came up correctly. But I don't want to disturb you until, only time you're going to see me disturb you is if I see someone in the green room trying to get up.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Take it, Miss Sheila, First Lady.
Well, what I wanted to say, because this go back to something that Sunkist said earlier. You know how the Catholic churches, they also started with the indigenous people, you know, before they brought them into modern society. And I saw a documentary.
Excuse me, can you hear me now, Debbie? Debbie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're not the oh gosh, Debbie, you're not the only one that's having problems getting in and out. I think it's something to do with the weather or something, because you're in the path of these bad storms too. I am too. I'm surprised I'm still on. But if you can get back on, and I'm sorry, Sheila. I'm sorry about that.
No,
But
it's
Debbie
okay.
said,
I understand.
post recording and kicking me out. No, I'm not kicking you out. Is that what she just? Let me see. Okay, Debbie, you on? Debbie.
Yes.
Okay, you're good. Okay. And no, ooh, she just left again. Sheila, since I know you can stay up here and you're not going to be kicked out. You're in Sunkist. I don't think y'all in the path of bad weather. If I can get Debbie up, huh?
I know I can only speak for myself, but I'm not in the bad weather area.
Okay,
It's
thank
nice
you. I'm
and
glad.
sunny today.
Now, if I get Debbie or Black Titanic to come up before they get kicked out again, I may have them to speak right quick. Debbie, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I can. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
go ahead and speak again. Oh Lord, lost her again.
Hello,
Oh
Kitty.
my Lord. So what I'm saying, if one of them come up before they get kicked out again, I may have them to go ahead and circle before everybody get speak right quick what's on their mind, and then just in case they get kicked out again. At least they ain't got it out, and then I can move back to you. And I'm sorry about that. Someone new is in the chat. King speaking with Carlton Super Panel. Hello, everyone. Hello to you too as well. Thank you for coming into the Pink House. So Debbie, until one of them try to come up, I'm going to go ahead and give the floor to you. And you just know the protocol, what we're trying to get accomplished with all this getting kicked out and everything. All right. And thank you for understanding, you and Sunkist both. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I wanted to say was about the Catholic churches. I do know that they infiltrated in on the indigenous people as well. And I'm talking about them bringing them into the modern world. They wanted to teach them about Christ. A lot of them wasn't privy to what modern day things that was happening. And they were supposed to train them people and speak about the Bible. They introduced those people to alcohol, smoking, cigarettes, just to bring the division amongst the family. See, these people had no idea about the, children, and they didn't know anything about sex. They didn't know anything like that. So they started them working in modern society. And with modern society, they learned to go to work, and they put their kids in school, started to educate the kids. And then, the men started becoming alcoholics. The men that never had a drink in their life, they became alcoholics. Then they was taking their children, they were violating some of the kids. And then the fathers got them smoking cigarettes, drinking, and then want to lock them up for public intoxication. So now you done broke up the whole tribe that was there. Them people was living up what God had said to live. They were living off the land and raising their children. But once that Catholic Church came in there and tried to teach these these people about God, they use the Bible for trickery and got them into
Mm.
modern society so they could violate their children. Then they turn around, get the men start drinking, smoking cigarettes, and beating their wives and stuff. Them people did not know anything about stuff like this.
Right.
And so,
You,
even
you
in
know,
America, you see,
I'm sorry, go on,
huh?
Sheila. I'm sorry, I thought you were done talking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Well, if you look at America, some of those teachings they here in America, because I know living in New York, when I used to live in New York, a lot of the Catholic churches they used to do a lot of stuff underground. And because I went with a friend, she said you need to come to the Catholic Church. This was before I
What?
even really started getting into the Bible. And that's why it's important for you to read the Bible yourself and meditate on it, because if you don't put anything in your head and meditate and create that relationship with God Himself, you're not supposed to, like Sunkist said, you're not supposed to follow man. You're supposed to go with the word of God. All this stuff that they doing is twisted and is vile, and they know it goes against everything God teaches you. He don't
Hmm.
teach you these type of things.
Mhm.
That's all basic, basically what I wanted to say. I
Thank
just
you.
can't believe
Thank
her.
you. You're
It's
right
upsetting.
about everything you said, though. You are right. And I'm going to pass it over to Sun Kids. And the same thing, Sun Kids, if Debbie or Black Titanic are able to come back up, guys, I'm going to stop you so I can just try to get them up here. Because Debbie
Okay.
has been trying. And Debbie, we want you up here. Black Titanic got kicked out due to the power outage. She just had power outage and it kicked her out, and the lights went out. So when she gets
It
time,
rained all last week here.
huh?
It rained almost 2 weeks straight before we got a sunny day.
It did.
And yesterday and today, yeah, this is the first. Yesterday and today is the first 2 days that we had where the sun came out.
It's been
Mhm.
raining. It was raining a little before the what is it, the solar
The
uh
eclipse.
but once that
That's
happened, it just turned violently. We've been getting from hell
that's
to darkness. It stays dark almost every day in the middle of the day, 12 o'clock during the day. It's dark. And
yeah. The Bible
wind's
said
been
that we
blowing
had go from
hard, so
bad
we've
to
been
worse.
getting a lot of it. So
Yeah, but
go ahead, son.
the earth core.
It's the right. It's doing
The
some
earth
funny
core
things
has been
right now.
disturbed.
And actually, I'm going to do a video tonight on that, guys. I'm going to. Oh, is that?
Mhm.
Oh, I thought somebody was trying to come up. Oh, Debbie, Debbie, keep trying. Okay, keep trying. I know you can get through, but we got to keep you up here, okay? Because we
Mhm.
want you to preach. We do want. I know you got some preaching to do tonight, okay? And Black Titanic,
Debbie
when
beat
you
me to
can, come back up when your power comes back on, okay, my co-host. Okay, let me just do this one thing right quick before it says. Let me just do this right quick while I'm trying to get everybody up. At least I got these things out of the way. And let me see. Okay. I hope everybody can see this. It says the cult leader. Now remember, this is the leader, the one that think God is talking to him. Okay.
Mm.
Cult leader tells court he's following the heavenly laws in child marriages. I don't know why. But anyway, as he's in Utah, a self-styled prophet. Oh my God, he calls himself a prophet. Everybody's a prophet who'd help lead a Utah doomsday cult that believed in polygamy and promoted child marriage. Remained defined Wednesday as he was sent to prison for at least 25 years. John Coulthard, 35, told a judge he was following heavenly laws and was in blank. They didn't say what it was, but he blank. Okay. The Utah Doomsday Cult leader sentenced in San Pete County. The leader of the Doomsday Cult was pleaded guilty to 2 charges of child B and S and spent 26 years to life in prison. John Coulthard was sentenced in Mattis. Okay, wait, is that Debbie? Okay, come on up, Debbie. Are you up? Can you speak? Say something right quick. Can you speak?
Yes, before
Oh my God.
Oh no.
We almost got it, Debbie. You almost got it. Ooh. Well, just as soon as you get up, as soon as you can speak, say something, and then start speaking. Okay. And I'm going to be quiet and let you take it. Okay. If you are Black Titanic and get up, I'm going to just tell me up and tell us what's on your mind. Okay. John Hart was sentenced in Mattis 6th District Court on Wednesday. He and Samuel Schaefer was arrested last year after 4 children was reported missing out of Sanpete. And I'm going to tell you how they came up and found all of this, how this came to be. Okay, I'm going to tell you how this came to be. And it's going to be, y'all really going to find out. Okay, John Coulthard asked to represent himself. Please do, so you can don't make it through it. Then withdraws requests. I don't know why narcissists love to think they can do things. They don't need no attorney. Okay.
Well, he
Will
didn't need a trial. Straight to
right.
jail.
Represent yourself so you fall really quick and it'll be over. Will he or won't he represent himself? That seems to be the question on Wednesday as John Coulthard made a request to represent himself in his child K and SA case in 6th District Court. Coulthard is facing 4 felony charges, the most serious being a first-degree felony. Okay, and that's it on that. Now, let me just say this because I'm going to show you all next time I report on this. I will be showing you all how all of this came about and everything. Who and when y'all see that, because I'm going to play the and when they got caught. I'm going to play, first of all, I'm going to play while they're looking for those kids. Okay? The Amber Alert. Okay? Thank you, Debbie. Go ahead and speak.
okay, I'm up this time. I don't know for how long.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
so until Debbie, I'm going to have Sunkiss go ahead and take it. But Sunkiss, the minute you see Debbie come up, we're going to just stop and let her go ahead and speak because I know you all can stay up with no problems. So if Debbie or Black Titanic come up, please, whoever's speaking, stop what you just abrupt stop. You can pick it right back up, but I want them to go ahead and take it before they drop. Okay. I'm sorry, we're playing musical chairs, guys. Okay, go ahead, Sunkiss. You take it, please do. Come on, give us that wisdom of a psychologist. Come on, we need it. Do I need to put my trigger warning back up?
Probably do. You've been kind with that, with the psychologist and all that. So we're just gonna give you I'll give you the basement, the basement version.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna put this trigger warning up while you're doing that.
So, but I was wanting to piggyback off of what Sheila had to say about the Catholics and what they, what they had, what they were involved in terms of their teachings and what they were doing, their version of converting people outside of what the scriptures have to say. But I do remember researching, I think I may have been like 15 or something like that. And I do remember researching some things about what the Catholics were involved in. And this is not to knock anybody's, beliefs or anything. Yeah, but I do remember what is it that they have for the women that live as the nuns, what they live in the the buildings that they live in.
Convent.
Yeah, convent. Was it the convent or is it what?
That
No,
is a convent.
is it a convent?
Yeah.
Okay. And I do remember, like I said, it was sometimes in the 80s, like mid 80s or a little sooner than that. But anyways, I remember reading up on some information, and they were saying um, that it wasn't just the boys, because a lot of people were focusing on the boys, back here just some years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and which was all true. And my heart was literally like stinging for these young men, and a lot of them are, into, proclivities that they don't want to be in, not but
Mm-hmm.
from what they, were invited to be in, and then a lot of them are doing um what word can I use, Sheila? Hmm,
Um,
not I can't use the DR word, but they're involved in what do you call that? What they call illegal
oh yeah, they would smuggle. They were smuggling, illegal smuggling. Is
and they were
different
taking
stuff.
part. Yes, they were taking part of them and all that, and so now
Mm-hmm.
they're hooked on a lot of that stuff. I guess they
Right.
were I guess narcotics would be,
Yeah, that. They take money
yeah,
from big kingpins.
yeah. And then also, but I didn't know how much a lot of people weren't really focusing on how much the women, the nuns actually were
Mm-hmm.
was suffering, because being
Mm-hmm.
in this patriarchal, a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
whenever guys are exposed, is really monstrous. But a lot
Mm-hmm.
of the women, and like I said, quote unquote, the nuns, they didn't realize how much they were being exploited, and being they were being forced,
Mm-hmm.
against their own will, to be involved with a lot of the priests, and a lot of them were being with the priests because they were just attracted to them too. They was consensual, and how they knew that is because when they went to tear down one of the convents, underneath the convent, it was nothing but unalived fetuses
Ooh.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
that were in jugs. Hmm. And that was their way of, like, to flush the babies down away, to
Ooh.
hide them so that they wouldn't be caught, or exposed, so they wouldn't have to go to the hospital, and they think, well, what are you doing here? You're none such and such, so they were
Mm-hmm.
that was their way of hiding all the things that were going on in those convents. So they would, none so and so will hide hers,
Yeah.
and this one will hide hers, and then this priest was force her to get rid of hers and force hers to hide, and they say it was thousands of
Oh my
underlying
Lord.
fetuses under there. Yeah. So it's yeah, it wasn't, and again, this doesn't make it any better or worse, but it wasn't just the young men, but a lot of the young women were traumatized as well. So again, that just takes you back to them knowing that these things are not right. Because if they were right, they wouldn't be trying to hide it. I don't care what. Well, this is how, when they say, "Oh, this person, maybe pop out up a school. Now he's pleading insanity." If he was insane, then why did he try to hide it? Why did
Right.
he run for, and try to get on a plane and go to another country? This right here tells you, if they're trying to hide it and if they're lying about it, they knew that it was wrong. They knew
Right.
it was wrong. So the same thing with these religious leaders. You're only hiding it because you knew what you were doing was wrong. And now all of a sudden you want to play, oh, because God told me to. No, because if you knew what you were doing was holy, so-called holy, and God really told you to do it, you wouldn't be trying to hide it. You wouldn't be
Oh,
saying, "Well, wait till
good.
she turned 18." You wouldn't be saying, "Oh my goodness, it's a holy ritual," or all it. No, you wouldn't be waving around a pow saying, "You better not come up in here." No, because as I was saying earlier, when Peter tried to cut off the ear of a soldier, Jesus told him, "No, if I did need help, I will petition my Father, and He would send legions of angels to help me." He put that soldier's ear right on and healed it, because what the lesson he was trying to teach was, I don't condone violence. So that when he was swinging that pawpaw around, he was not following Jesus' footsteps because Jesus didn't condone that behavior. So again, all of that, no. You'll never find nowhere in the Bible where Jesus was being with young kids, other than the fact that kids loved him because of how kind and how loving he was. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I want you all to see this too. Son Kiss, what you was saying, the statement you just made, that people need to think about what you just said. They really do. And stop trying to justify. Because if you know it's wrong, you know it's wrong. So ain't no sense in trying to justify nothing. You know it's wrong. Okay. I want to bring up one of these. This is one of the statements from, and actually I got copies from, they have this book. I'm going to bring up this book. It's called the book of the, what is it called? It's called the book of the, it's the book of the Night of the Crystal Blade. The book of the Night of the Crystal Blade. It's a big white book. They use that as their Bible. And it's a book basically that John himself the leader, John, took the book, took words out of the Bible and made them into his own. You know what I mean? Made them, and people still believe in it. He got it just enough, and he's following the Mormon preaching, okay? Doomsday. But let me just read this to you. And this is one of the things from there. It said, because I have brought it up the other way while you were speaking, but I realized it was too small that you all can't see it. So I put it on my slide so you all can see it. Okay. It says, what is the religion of the Knights of the Crystal Blade? The Knights of the Crystal Blade was a small polygamous fundamentalist Mormon offshoot founded by Samuel Schaeffer. Samuel Schaeffer is number 2 man. Remember number 2, the one that gave John his daughter to marry, and John gave him his daughter. Remember, they switched daughters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they believe that doomsday will arrive in the form of a Muslim invasion. Now, exactly what that looks like, I couldn't tell you. And plan to kidnap many more children leading up to the end days. And remember, during all their court proceedings, remember they kept talking about each one of them was also got a charge of kidnapping. Remember?
Yes.
Each one of them had a charge of kidnapping. Because what they do, they also kidnap other people's kids.
Wow.
Right. Can't kidnap the kids that's already there, still around their mom and dad and everything else. And then they kidnapped when then got to the point they're the women that they got kids by, if the woman is not there all the time or in the thing, they kidnap those too. Instead of sharing custody or going to see your child, they just kidnap them outright. They kidnap everybody's kids. And they don't want to kidnap while you're older. They want to kidnap you while you're little. Because then that's when they want to marry you. Or have you to marry somebody else in the church. Or the way they kidnap you. And then when other men join the church, to keep them there and under his control, he makes sure you sleep with one of them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then that's considered rape. Then if you go anywhere, they can say, "Oh, you did this." I mean, not the R word. You did this. So he keeps them under control by telling them if they go anywhere past the line, this pow pow gonna unalive you. Then if you tell anybody about our set with our church, I'm gonna unalive you. And he also said that to his parents too. That's why why would mom and dad want to go join that church in the first place and join him after what he did to their own daughter? That don't make no sense in the first place. Okay, I just
All
want
of
to
them need
bring
to
that
be
up to
jailed.
y'all. None of these people just not thinking with their own brain. They're, in a way, to me, they're so brainwashed in the head. They letting somebody else, another grown man that don't make no sense, tell them what to do. Now the grandfather and the grandma act like they got some sense now. He need to stay in jail for the rest of his life.
You know what?
Yeah, right.
There there's some what's the things that are going on is some satanic influence there.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that because there's narcissism there,
Mm-hmm.
then there goes the satanic influence that's involved.
That's
Because
what that question I always been wanting to know.
yeah,
Son Kiss, is he John, the leader? Is he a narcissist?
he
From everything I'm thinking,
no,
he
he's a
acts like
psychopath.
one. He
No,
acts like one.
he's a psychopath. That's
Oh, he's a
psycho.
psycho.
That's psychopathy. That he's a psychopath.
Okay, he's just straight out crazy, huh?
Yeah, and here's why. Because what he's doing exhibits all the telltale signs because he not only is it that he's stone cold and he has a hollow pipe for a heart. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
empty, but he has this self righteous, grandiose way about himself. But
Grandiosis.
huh?
That grandiosis.
Yes,
Like Martell. I mean,
yes,
that demon man.
yeah. He's very grandiose. He has himself on this pedestal. Is this his pattern has continued throughout from his sister all the way through, and he thinks that if you're not on his side, then you're against him all the way and you need to be taken out and you're in his way regardless of what. And he thinks that whatever he's doing is all in all. It's all the way through. This is, in fact, God is on my side in terms of this. And
So
if
it's
you're
this
not on my
way
side,
or the
I have to,
highway to the
yeah,
pow
I
pow.
have to, to the point of me taking you out.
Okay.
So you're in the way. You're in my way. There's nothing, something is wrong with the justice system. Something is wrong with the original Bible because you guys are not seeing it my way. So if you all are not on my side, God included, God, man, beast, child, it doesn't matter. I will have to take you all out because you're not on my
Ooh.
side. You have to see it my way. And so literally, those are his mental faculties. And the root of his the fabric of his skin screams it. He's a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mhm.
all complete psychopath. And I promise you, as he gets older, it's going to get far worse and far worse. Till he will have to be in a cell probably by himself.
Is that one of those pad cells that he should be in, or a regular
Just a,
dog?
a regular cell, but he couldn't have a cellmate because whatever he has to do to be comfortable, he will do whatever he has to do to be comfortable.
Because
If he make it,
he seems
if
like he
he
don't have
make it,
no problems about pow pow or unaliving somebody, no matter how he can do it.
Yes, because when he wakes up,
but
his
that's
day is
if
going
he
to be
make
comfortable.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
What
a
you say,
lot of them
Sheila, if he
inmates,
makes it?
yeah, because a lot of when you go in there into a facility, a prison facility, a lot of them inmates, they shun upon people like that violate children, and they usually don't last that long.
Sheila, you're right. I did some research last night on that, and it was
Hmm.
a guy saying if say for
Hmm.
instance, Sheila, you and I were cellmates, right? And we were in there for something that disgusting. Well, let's just say I
Hmm.
was in prison already, and you came in for the same disgusting thing, right? They have to
Hmm.
show their papers as to why they're
Right.
there.
Hmm.
And soon as if I me being there even for the same reason, or it could be for another reason, whichever one, and you come in for that reason, from what we're discussing, right? You and I see that, and I'm your Sally. If I don't harm you physically, either to unalive or close to unaliving you, then my life is at stake.
Yeah.
So I mean, literally, just by default, I am responsible to either closely unalive you or to unalive you, one or the
Wait a minute,
other.
say that again, Sunkiss.
So,
So
for instance, okay, so for instance, if you and I, and just say
okay,
if I was in prison for
okay,
child SA, right?
okay. They don't like them kind of people.
No. So even if I had come there and I had gotten my licks in from from other inmates, right?
Okay.
And I happen to survive. If once I get the healing and everything is gone by, once you come in, because everybody by default, you have to show your papers. This is protocol. Show your papers as to why you're there. If your papers say that you're there for child SA, my number one job to keep me from getting unalived or almost unalived again, I have to harm you to the fullest, either unalive you or make you feel like you've been unalived. If you make it and you happen to survive, then you've made it. But if you don't, then that's just the way it goes. And the guards know, a lot of times they be in on it. So I just researched something last night. Yeah. And that's why they always say, once you go in for that, what you did to that child is not going, that's nothing compared to what you're going to go through.
Yeah, I heard they don't like them when they come in there. You be praying for your life while you're there.
Yep.
Well, Miss Pinkie, I'm gonna have to go because I gotta get up early in the morning and get to work.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Sheila, First Lady, for coming in. And I loved everything that you said. You was hitting everything right on the money. And
I
thank you for my
appreciate
super
you for
sticker.
allowing me up. I appreciate you allowing me up on the panel. Y'all
Okay.
have a good night.
Okay.
The rest of your night.
And make sure you
Okay,
come
and
back when I show the video of the parents being questioned by the parents. I'm going to have the parents and the mothers of those kids, because that's what you really
I
want to
will.
see.
Yeah, I want to see that part. Yeah, and see what these mothers got to say.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
y'all
them
enjoy
kids
the rest
being
of your
married.
night. All
Okay.
right.
It was
All right.
nice.
Okay,
Thank
good night,
you.
my kids.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
Okay. Have a good night.
You sleep
You
good,
just-
okay?
I will.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Lord. Oh, thank you, Miss Sheila, First Lady. I tell you, I'll go ahead and drop you down, okay? All right. Oh, Lord.
It's
this
crazy.
You're right. This is crazy. But what I want to show everybody, because I've watched the investigator interrogate the grandmother and the grandfather, and then how they found nothing wrong with it. But now the grandfather changing his tune, I guess, when he can see how long he gonna stay in prison. It's like, oh Lord, we better change our tune, Grandma.
See that he knows, he's been knowing that it was wrong, and for him not to report his son and get him some help, or get him, make him pay for something that he did, make him make him hold him responsible for what he did with his sister. Something that tells me that rabbit hole runs really deep, starting with that dad and or that mother. It's something. It's something. And now all of a sudden, the dad wants to say, "Oh yeah, he's this, that." You've been knowing that prior to all of this. You've been knowing this. You've been knowing your son was sick. But you didn't. You weren't screaming off the rooftop then. So why now? Because you want to save your behind.
You're behind. That's what it is.
And I'm
now
like, no.
Speaking out against him.
Yeah. So these very words that he's using now, all of this energy, he's saying it with his chest now. He could have been those. Save it. Those are empty. And what he's saying now is not for the children. It's for his behind.
That's right.
And
I bet he will even turn on his wife to save his behind.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Right.
Because if he was loving and selfless, he would have said something to save his daughter. So if you
Right.
turn your back on your daughter, your wife don't mean nothing to you, and those babies
Right.
that had to be hurt.
Why would you follow him knowing what he did to your daughter, and then you turn around and see him even do the first child? That's when I would have been out of there. I would have been there in the first place. I would have not been there in the first place. And then if I accidentally be so stupid enough to go follow him and join his church, the minute I see him talking about marrying babies, it's time for me to go. Come on, wife, we got to go.
Exactly.
We're going, and it's like if you have to say, I'm going to the store to buy food for the compound. That's what I'm doing. And when that, I will get off there and never show up again.
I would have been fishtailing down the street.
And I would not be in the same house because he may send people, people like that will send people to come and get you. Because you're afraid you're going to talk or unalive you while you're at your house. I would not, I bypass my house or go get a few things out of my house, and I wouldn't even be in Utah no more. I tell daughter and mama, we got to go. We getting out of Utah. Forget the house, forget what we got here. I'm gone.
But here's the thing, Mama Pinkie. It could have been rectified. He could have gotten some deep therapy. He could have been able to learn how to continue his therapy and learn how to live in society in a somewhat healthy way to the best of his
father
ability.
and mama had did him right then.
Yes.
Told him.
Put him in therapy at a young age when they found this out. And then,
but also make him repent by sending his butt to jail, because you don't do that.
Thank you. But when this is what I say, when these parents do this stuff, and Dr. Phil always speaks on this too, they do these things and allow these kids to function in a warped environment. And then when they turn out like this, then they get up on platforms and say, oh yeah, he's sick. He's what his daddy is saying, as if you didn't have anything to do with it. You supported him in this. You kept your mouth closed. You even attended his church. Really? And now you that's
when you attend the church, and when he's talking about, he believes in that. So I cannot believe that he didn't mention during the first time you attended the church, we should marry babies. It's time to go. Oh, come on, wife, we got to go. We got to go.
Then go to, and here's another thing too. If your son didn't get therapy and you didn't know for a fact that he got in therapy, why are you going to somewhere where he's supposed to preach? Who goes somewhere and willingly sit down and listen to someone that willingly slept with their sister and never got therapy? They're sleeping with children and not getting therapy. But you choose. See, this is why when I hear about these people that are supporting these mega churches by people that has very illicit, salacious backgrounds. He has a reputation.
Speechless.
Yeah, I'm trying to find words now.
I know, and I'm sitting here trying to help you. And you know what? It makes you speechless because it's like a normal person don't do this and think like this. This is, like you said, he's a psychotic.
Yeah,
he's really psychotic. A person like that would do anything.
I know. I have heard them call out celebrities for wearing fake garments, fake Gucci or fake Fendi or fake whatever, and it goes viral. Them getting dragged for wearing a fake what do you call that? Fake
handbag or purse,
or fake, just anything fake designer wear.
Right. But
But
they need to focus themselves on stuff like this.
yeah,
Focus yourself, focus that mind, forget that fake. Because that fake person, maybe they can't afford a real one. Maybe they don't feel like they should spend that much money on a real one. Spend your time worrying about what these men out here doing with these babies. Because I'm not going to even call them children. These are babies. A 4-year-old. Anybody tell me, anybody in the chat, tell me what 4-year-old know what marriage is?
right.
Consummating,
But you know what?
being a wife. She's serving doing the, that's why she's doing her wifely duties. What do that mean to a 4-year-old? Half of the time, a 20-some-year-old don't even know what that means, wifely duties.
Exactly. And you know what, Mama Pinkie, think about it. When a little kid is penetrated by certain things, we you know,
Right.
we know what we're talking about.
Right.
Their insides are jarred and moved around.
Mm-hmm.
They have to have surgery to rectify the situation. It's because they're not
Right.
ready. They're not
It's not
completely. They're not
developed
completely
enough for stuff like this.
right.
Ooh,
They're not
Lord.
completely developed. It's for a reason because their bodies are not ready for that type of attention. Now,
Mm-mm.
what makes them think that God will say, go and do that? He is a God of love.
Right.
Jesus even said that his load is light. Now, what human being would think, oh, yeah, go ahead, take my child, or yeah, go right ahead and be with it?
Mm-hmm.
There have been kids that have been, there have been kids that have actually died from such, I mean, oh, I'm sorry,
That's
been
trauma.
unalive.
That's trauma and force.
Yes, have been unalive because of the, like you said, the trauma and the pain and the, can you believe? I mean, think about that. There are some kids that have been unalive because of it, because just the damage down there, then the mental trauma, just the physical trauma, because they're not ready for that type of attention.
Mm-mm.
And you mean to tell me that God told you to marry that baby?
Marry
And
that
you
baby.
got grown, supposed to be grown idiots that's going along
Mm-hmm.
with it. I make that make sense. I can't.
It
These,
can't make no
it was.
sense. It can't make no
It's
sense.
altar boys that's 12 and 13 years old that were altar boys for priests, 14,
Mm-hmm.
15, 16, that literally unalived themselves, that literally ended up on narcotics
Right.
because they
Because
could
they
not
can't
deal
take
with it.
they can't take it.
And
Their
we're not talking
mind
about
can't take it.
right. We're not talking about 4 and 5-year-olds.
Mm-mm. We
Here
know
I
they
am.
can't take it.
Yeah, but here and they think, oh yeah, they're gonna grow. No, I was 50 years old the last time I tried to unalive. Stemming
I'm so
from
sorry.
not even 3 and 4. I can't stop reliving from when I was 12 and 13 and 14 and
Mm-hmm.
15. I try to avoid the younger age.
Mm-hmm.
And this is from when I was a teenager. I keep reliving that. Why? Because my egg donor knew about it and she allowed it. That is what I cannot get past. That's what's triggering. So when these little babies know that their parents were around and allowed it and gave them, that's going to be more of a triggering, a pressure point, just more
Right.
disabling than anything else. That because their parents allowed it.
Right.
So I have no room for they all, whoever was around that almost knew of it, need to be locked away.
Need to be locked away. Like now. Ooh, my Lord. This is too much.
And even these school teachers, like they said, it's not just men, it's women too. It's so many, it's just as many, if not more, female school teachers that's doing this mess. And it was one teacher
Right.
some years ago said that's the first time she ever made love.
Right. And she made it was he was 14 years. I think
Oh,
he
was
was
he 14
13
years?
when she first done something. And then when they found out he was 14 years old.
See, and then one he was being with his teacher, and he was he was like
Right.
about 14 and 15, and
14.
yeah, and
And she
she
even got pregnant by him too.
yes, and it's been so many cases I've studied when it comes to that, but these teachers act like, oh, they'll get over because I'm a hot teacher. No, these
Right.
kids later on, I go and research these cases later on, and these kids are boys, young men, I
Mhm.
should say. They're no, they were boys. We're gonna keep
Right.
what it's supposed to be. They
Teenagers.
are
At
suffering
13,
from
you're just becoming a teenager.
yeah, and they're suffering from depression just as much as these young girls.
Right.
They're suffering. Some of them are like cutting. I'll just leave it there. If you
Right.
think you know what I'm talking about,
Right.
some of them are on narcotics. Some are still in therapy years later, and can't even finish school. You name it. And they think because they're guys, and you hear these stupid guys saying, "Man, you snitch, you crazy, man. I wouldn't tell nobody. I'd have been happy." This is what they have to
No.
do.
Mm-mm. You think
So they
you'd
have
be
to,
happy. You wouldn't
yeah,
be
they
happy.
have to deal with society in
Because
a
it's
total different
trauma.
way. Yeah, it's so sad. My heart just, I can't. I have
And
no room for that. No
right.
room.
No room for it. Now, uh, we're almost uh we're almost done.
Okay.
I do want to this may sound crazy, but I do want to show one, or should I just save it? Because I'm looking at the pictures of the kids. When they found them, they put out an Amber Alert. The mother, one of the mothers, put out an Amber Alert, and that when the Amber Alert goes out, they are desperately trying to find that child because they have a window of time, uh, the best window of time to try to find any child before the odds start being gloom, right? And I'm so right now I'm just looking at the barrels and stuff that those kids was found in and everything. And so I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. I'm gonna show these. So since tomorrow is Thursday, I never have physical therapy on Thursday anyway. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this together tonight before I go to sleep, so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. Since I'm already on it and I'm already looking at it, I'm gonna put this together tonight, the last of it, showing what the kids were sleeping in when the officer found them. When the officers went and found them after the Amber Alert, and how many hours and desperate search it was to find these kids because it was freezing cold at night when they was out there in the middle of the desert looking for these kids. And the desert is really hot, right? During the day, burning up, scorching. But at night, the temperatures can drop so drastically. And I want everyone to see this, see what they put these kids through. And then he would leave them after he would SA them. He was hiding them for the what do you call it? The leader. He was hiding them from the leader because the leader was kidnapping them from their mother. So he was hiding them. All right. And so he said the reason he did it because he asked. So when he asked them to do something, that's what they do. No questions asked. They don't ask any questions. They just do it. Right. And anybody know if you kidnapping a child, that's wrong. You can line yourself in prison for that. But that's what he did because he said he's not a man. He's, a prophet. Okay. God speaks to him. So go figure. But anyway, I'm going to show you the pictures of each one, what these kids was in, what they was in the middle of the desert. Some with no pants on, some they don't have jackets, freezing cold out there, and this is on acreage in the desert, and they running around trying to find these kids, right? And everything. And when they did find them, they're starving. They haven't had water. They haven't eaten in days and haven't had water in days. And and I think one was so bad off, that child had to be rushed right away for help. That child was really, really starving. And it's just awful. It's just, and some they had to, it took hours. I would say about an hour or more for them to coax one of them out of this tube, plastic tube that they got him in, to come out, because he was afraid to come out because the leader and the right-hand man told him to stay. And they do what they're told, because even they would be powed and unalive too. They all know that. So and they didn't want to force that child out of there on their own, because the child was afraid to come out and had no clothes on, half naked, I would say. But and when you see what they were sleeping in, it's pathetic. And I'm just going to just show one picture, and then we're going to end it for the night. I just want y'all to see what I'm talking about. And then we're going to end it for the night. Okay. But let me just show this one picture. This is ridiculous. This is abuse more than anything I could say. I don't know how to word this and what to say about it. Okay. So here it is, guys. I'm going to just show this one picture before we end tonight. Okay. So y'all hold on to your hats because it's kind of awful. Okay. You see this bigger picture in the center, guys, everybody, with the blue, what do you call those? Barrels. Yeah, they're barrels. And these are like rugs or something, or cardboard or something like that. I forgot what they was. The girls was being kept in the barrels, hidden by the polygamous leader, along with his own two daughters. So his daughters was in there too, plus some of the other kids. And then they found another child in an abandoned a trailer, freezing cold. It was colder in the trailer than it was outside. And they had to coax that child to come out, because they was just that afraid. But while they was in these things, they was still being SA. They still find time to come out there and SA them when it warms up during the day. You see what I'm saying? Now, if this ain't sick, tell me what's sick. Do you see anything to protect these kids? And they've been in there not just one day, days, with no food, no water, no nothing.
In the desert.
Right. And then I think they had something to use the bathroom in it. Was it a bucket or something? I forgot what it was, but they did have it in there for them. It was like a bucket or a jar or something that they used the bathroom in. Now, that's the 26 year to life. That's a slap on the wrist to me. That's a slap on the wrist. So we're going to talk about this, guys, a little more and everything. And what I really want to do, since I don't have physical therapy, do this one, but also do my one I got for Stormy, because I got docs, and I want to go over these docs. Yeah, because I really want to go ahead and do that. I don't want this to be skipped, since everybody's dragging her anyway. I'm just going to drag her by a toe. So I'm just gonna drag it by that toe because everybody got the hair and everything else. So I'll just find that toe and drag it, that big toe. Okay, guys, and I do appreciate everybody for being here tonight. I do appreciate Sheila Aaron for my first and only super sticker of the night. Um, and guys, in order to keep my channel running and up and keep me being able to bring certain things and certain documents and stuff to you, I do have to say you do have to bless me because that is not cheap and that's not free. Okay. So in order for you to keep getting good content from me, uh, you have to bless me. Just pretend like I'm another content creator. You know how y'all people go over there and bless them all over the place. They can't even hold their head up. They've been knocked over by so much blessing, money and everything falling all in their cash app and DMs. They can't even keep track of it. Just pretend like I'm one of them again, since you don't want to bless me for all the hard work I'm doing on my own. And then they don't even give you any docs. I can count a lot of them that don't even do docs. They ain't giving you nothing. They just talk about it. But at least I show you. Right, son, kids? Don't I at least show them?
Yeah,
I'm going to have to be ending anyway because I see my son is calling me and it's already late. If he's calling, that means something is wrong when he calls this late. But
okay.
I do.
Agree with you. I agree with you, though. I really do.
Thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead and put my music on, guys, so it can take us on out. And let me just put my little thing up here. I love putting this up here because this is what you're supposed to do right there. That's my disclaimer. Yes. And that disclaimer and with my music is going to take us out. And Sunkiss, thank you. We always need words from you because you're our shrink. I tell you, you keep my mind right. You help us to understand these psychos. And see, I was thinking maybe he just was a narcissist. But shoot, this man got a psycho problem too, allegedly. You know, I'm not a doctor. I just read what I can read and see what I can see. And he don't seem like he's straight in the head to me.
He
doesn't seem straight. What about you, son, kid? Do this man seem like he's straight in the head to you?
No, he's all over the place. That man's head is bunched up into one big knot and set on fire. He is no, he's a psychopath. He the telltale sign.
Do I need to look that up tonight too, son Kiss?
What's that? Yeah, I think you should. That would be good because you're going to see.
I'm going to look it up.
I'm going by the research that I've looked up, and I thought when you were talking, I said he's a first-class psychopath. Yeah,
I'm going to look it up. I think we got one on our hands here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know how people didn't know what Nazis. We didn't know until Love and Marriage Huntsville. Mm-hmm. Now I got to learn another thing now, but that's okay. It's good to learn. It's good to know.
And so that's another reason why you need your cash apps and super stickers because your channel has taught a lot. Your channel has informed people a lot. So, and on top of the fact that you have all these extra documents that you pay for, so you have earned your keep. So,
yes, thank you for saying that. Thank you. And we're going to be going because I do need to call my son back because it's late whenever he's calling late. And you know, because he don't call late unless there's something going on.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Debbie, for trying to get up on the panel. I tell you, it's something going on with this weather. And Black Titanic, my co-host, thank you for being here. And I hope and pray that your lights and everything, your power gets turned back on before you go to bed. And I do want to thank Sheila for being here as well. Sheila Aaron, always doing a great job, and good night for you because I know you got to get up and go to work. And Sun Kiss. Did I miss anybody, Sun Kiss?
I don't think so.
Okay. Thank you, Sun Kiss, for all your wisdom and your words. because we be needing that. You know, I be needing it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for all your kind words. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you guys. And we're gonna be rolling on out of here. I'm gonna get the rolling. I'm gonna get the stepping. Girl. All right. Thank you. Love you guys. Love everybody in the chat. You all have a wonderful night. Wonderful night. And get ready for my 2 lives I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this Night of the Crystal Blade, and then you know, I don't know why I call that. Just say these people that's crazy as heck. I'm gonna do the crazy people, and then I'm gonna focus my attention on Stormy, because I got some docs of hers. So I'm gonna go ahead. Actually, I got 2 cases I got sitting here, but I think because I'm gonna do this 2 lives tomorrow, I'm gonna just do the shortest case first. I'm just gonna do that one first. Although it's out of order, I'm gonna do that one first because it's shorter. And then I'll do the longer one, that's 12 pages. I'll do that one another day. Okay, guys? So be looking for me and be ready for everything. All right? Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sun Kids. Love you all.
You.
Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye.